Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Well, they might be the best words on Cape Cod. There will be a Game 3. For Bourne and Hyannis, it's a fitting conclusion to a West Division series that's been ripe with passion and all kinds of drama. Last night, the Braves survived the brink of elimination thanks to a heroic double and a 1-2-3 ninth inning. So the series returns to Bourne Park, where in a decisive final game, the Harbor Hawks look to finish the flight. Winner gets to it in the division finals as the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs presented by Reader's Hardwood Supply continues on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Folks, how lucky are we? And welcome Diamondside to Bourne Park for Game 3 of the West Division Series. With Max Schwartzberg and Graham Nash, I'm Giovanni Collada. Max, ninth inning heroics last night from Mark Quattrani and Nate Wysong of Bourne forces the Game 3 here today. A year ago, Bourne bounced Hyannis from the postseason in a one-game first round, and after two thrilling games started this series, it's another one game that will decide it all.
Well, Mitch Carricker is looking for some payback, and he's got the right squad to do it. It's that all-hands-on-deck mindset, and that's what really makes up the makeup of postseason baseball. You got guys who didn't have the biggest role throughout the regular season, now taking bigger opportunities. Miles Davis in there. We'll talk about that in a moment, trying to get that matchup for the favorable when you're facing a lefty on the mound. It's going to be really important to have that mindset that it's the next guy up.
And that'll whittle it down to just a single game, Graham. A significant question mark coming into a game like this was who is going to be that third starter for Mitch Carricker, along with Carson Yassa and Max Stammel, each of whom started the prior two games. And Eddie Copper is going to answer that call tonight.
Yeah, Eddie Copper got the start. He got the nod, and I think it's all thanks to that appearance at Wareham on July 27th. Pitched for 4 innings, allowed 2 hits and no runs. He had a bit of a tougher start at Orleans, allowing 2 runs. Only one of them was earned, though. So after his last 12 1/3, he's only allowed 2 earned runs. He's been really, really strong. We've been seeing him get ahead a lot in counts, pepper the zone a little bit more than he had over the early parts of his starts, which his first start was only on July 13th, so it wasn't really that long ago. He started as a reliever, and now he's made this change to a starter, and it's a big, big start for him.
Manager Mitch Carricker confident that Copper's his guy. Win or go home tonight, and he and I talked about that pregame. Giovanni Collada with manager Mitch Carricker ahead of Game 3. Coach, difficult outcome last night, but you said you were proud of your team's battle. What positives can you take from yesterday into Game 3?
Well, I thought the pitching staff did a really good job. Made a bunch of big pitches when we had to, got out of a few jams. Kelly's been really good for us, made one mistake really, and offensively, against some really tough arms, we were able to find a way to get the lead in the 9th, which is what we want. And so just looking for our guys to come out today with some passion, some energy, and we need to execute on both sides of the ball. If we can do that, we'll be in good shape.
By the same token, you said also yesterday that you didn't want to change anything after that one, yet you've got a couple new faces in the lineup tonight. What went into that?
Yeah, I mean, they're throwing a left-hander that's got really good stuff, and so we thought, let's throw a few more right-handers in there. But it's all hands on deck tonight, so we'll not be afraid to make switches early if we need to, but feel really good about the lineup we have today.
It's Miles Davis and Garrett Larson, the defense for Eddie Copper, who you're giving the ball to in another high-leverage situation. What can he take from past performances into tonight?
Yeah, Eddie's been throwing the ball really well. He's just going to keep doing what he's been doing. to be successful, getting ahead in counts, being able to get to his out pitches is going to be critical for us tonight. And so need him to give us a really good start, and then just a repeat performance from our bullpen would be great. And offensively, just find a way to score some runs.
Hyannis and Bourne in Game 3. Winner sees Katuitt in the division finals. Coach, thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys? Max, when you hear Mitch Carricker say it's all hands on deck, you can almost sense the urgency.
Yeah, and it's much needed because, it's an opportunity when you got a left-handed heavy lineup usually. Now you go to only 4.
And Ava Fernandez and Ethan Wax caught up with Devin Mitchell and Ryan McKay, respectively. Take a listen ahead of first pitch.
Ava Fernandez alongside Devin Mitchell, who had a double in last night's game. And Devin, you kind of came in less than 2 weeks ago. You've made a transition already here, and you're coming from JUCO. So what has it been like kind of adjusting to the live pitching in the Division I baseball that you've seen down here in the Cape?
It took me a few weeks. I mean, if you can recall the last 2 weeks, I wasn't really getting on base that much, and I just kind of worked on my approach, talked to my guys on the team who are having success, and kind of get their mindset around things. And I use that to my advantage, and now I'm starting to see the ball a little bit more and do a little bit more damage.
Definitely. And what has the coaches and you mentioned the teammates kind of giving you that advice? What have they kind of been saying to you to get your head kind of in the game?
You can't be in between pitches. You can't be guessing up there at the plate. You got to sit your pitch, know the count, know your approach, and stay true to your approach. And you can't get off of that if you do. And at this level, you're not going to succeed. So you got to stay to yourself, stay to your approach, and it'll work out.
Yeah, and last night, Coach Mitch Carricker told us that basically nothing needs to change from the game last night, just an unfortunate event that happened at the end. What kind of changes do you think that you guys need to make tonight to come out on top?
I mentioned to Ethan yesterday before the game that it's going to be errors that get us. 2 nights ago, Game 1, we had 0 errors, and we won. Last night we had a few maybe, and we didn't come out on top. So I think tonight is playing clean defense, throw strikes, and the runs will follow.
Yeah. Well, Devin is in the lineup tonight, and you can see him hopefully get a great hit again. So thank you guys, and hopefully we can pull out a win tonight to face Katuitt tomorrow.
Thanks, Devin.
Back to you guys.
Catching up with Ryan McKay before Game 3 of the first round. And Ryan, what does the team need to do to sort of shake off last night's results?
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. Just shake it off, and today's a new day. It's anybody's ball game. The series is 0-0. As it's our mindset going into it. Whoever wins this moves on to the next, and whoever loses go home. So we definitely don't want to go home.
And you guys were 4 of 9 with runners in scoring position, but left 19 runners on base. What does the mindset need to be when you get in those situations?
Yeah, it's just being gritty and trying to find a way to, get on top of the plate, don't take strikes, swing early in the count, especially when guys are on base with less than 2 outs. Just move them over. Everybody's got to do a better job of that.
And Bourne you've played obviously a couple of times in the regular season. How has that changed from the regular season to now the playoff? Like, what is the intensity like now?
Yeah, definitely more intense. You got a playoff atmosphere, energy's high, so it's a lot more fun than just playing them in the regular season.
And can you give me a key to tonight's game that will eventually decide who goes on and who goes home?
I think it's going to be whoever makes the biggest play, whoever steps up and makes the biggest play.
Thank you for your time tonight, and good luck.
Thank you,
guys.
I think, Dean, they're allowing you to find your own success and your own true independence.
Since I've come to Dean, I've learned a lot of time management skills.
Our community is especially tight-knit, and the majority of our students live on campus. And you are guaranteed 4 years of housing while you attend Dean.
Dean is just full of opportunities for you to embrace, to welcome, so you can change yourself to who you want to be and form your career for the future.
So go through that, all right? Think that way.
Be a bulldog. Have a bulldog mentality in everything you do in life, whether you're playing sports or in the classroom or just socializing around campus.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Back here at Doran Park, first pitch of Game 3, just mere moments away. Decider between Hyannis and Bourne after a thrilling couple of games began this West Division Series, the first of its kind in the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs. And here's how Mitch Carricker will line them up in this decisive Game 3. It's the center fielder Owen Prince to lead it off for the third straight day. Lefty, lefty, lefty as Jace Dobby moves over to first base in the place of Gabe Camacho batting second. Ryan McKay's playing second base, batting third. Dayton LaChance moves from behind the dish to DH as he was here in Game 1 with a 2 RBI double that proved to be decisive in that one. He bats cleanup tonight. Devin Mitchell gets the bump up the lineup from 8 to 5 tonight. He's in right field once again. Charlie Bates moves up from 7 to 6 as well. He's still at shortstop. Miles Davis, first of 2 new faces in the bottom third of the order. He's playing third base and batting 7th. Brody Briggs, after being out of the lineup last night, returns to the catcher spot at 8. And Garrett Larson makes his postseason debut for the Harbor Hawks in left field, batting 9th. They're going up against a lefty in Reese Bowie for the Braves. Rising sophomore out of Wake Forest, only a new arrival after pitching in 8 games for the NECBL's Ocean State. Comes here to the Cape and makes an immediate impact, Grant.
Yeah, he was unbelievable against Falmouth the one time that he did start. He struck out 11 for this team going up against the Falmouth Commodores. And that was a Commodores team that was really finding momentum towards the end of the year. Pitched for 5 innings, walked 1, no hits, no runs, and 11 Ks. So this guy has some serious stuff. And the best news for the Braves is that he's a lefty. And this is a Hyannis lineup that really has leaned on its lefties for a long, long time. So a couple of these righties injected into this lineup in the hopes that the Harbor Hawks can win that matchup a little bit.
You heard Mitch Carricker say pregame, folks, that he's put in a couple new faces in the lineup despite being satisfied with what he saw last night to exploit that matchup, but also because it's all hands on deck tonight for the Harbor Hawks in this decisive Game 3. Of course, a year ago around this time, Bourne eliminated Hyannis in a 1-game playoff, as the Braves have in each of the last 3 postseasons en route to Cape Cod Baseball League championships in 2 of the last 3 summers for Scott Landers and Bourne. It's a beautiful night here in Bourne, Massachusetts at Doran Park for the second time this series after the Harbor Hawks took Game 1 3-1. Last night, heroics in the 9th inning from Mark Quattrani and pitcher Nate Wysong steal a 5-4 win for the Braves to force this decisive Game 3. Winner faces the Cotuit Kettleers, who swept the Wareham Gatemen in the West Division Finals beginning tomorrow. Lefty Owen Prince digs in, first batter of Game 3 to face the lefty Reese Bowie. Bowie works from the stretch. Takes a breath and fires. First pitch tails inside, 1-0. Right at 6:02, couple minutes late. It's a beautiful day here in the 70s. 1-0. Prince nabs it into right field, backing up Ryan Cooney, the second baseman, onto first for out number 1.
That's a big out for the Bourne Braves because Owen Prince has been phenomenal over his past 4 games. He's gotten a hit in all of his last 4. 2 of those have been multi-hit performances, and he's been really good in the postseason. So a big first out there.
1 out, nobody aboard for the first baseman, Jace Dobby. He's been the most consistent hitter in this series for the Harbor Hawks. 5 hits and 6 at-bats across the 2 games, including a ticker tape day a night ago. First pitch to him. Swing, get a miss. Bowie brought out the breaking ball. He's got a changeup, a cutter, and a slider, along with a fastball that sits 92 to 94. Rising sophomore at Wake Forest, a lefty on righty matchup, second of the game. 0-1. Strike on the inside corner, 0-2. Just to show how good that start was for Reese Bowie. Had a leadoff walk to begin the game against Falmouth on August 1st. Then retired 14 consecutive batters with 11 strikeouts and no runs. 0-2, drifts inside, 1-2. Left the NECBL on July 31st, joined the Braves the day he made that start, immediately slotted in and became the Game 3 starter based off that performance. He comes set from the stretch, the righty Dobby ready. Bowie's 1-2. Tapped into the left center field alley, and Gavin Kelly ranges over to make out number 2.
And that start is a big reason why manager Scott Landers felt so comfortable putting him in this Game 3, and why he felt so comfortable putting Nate Wysong on the mound yesterday for a long relief appearance. Wysong was projected to be the starter in this game. Instead, he closed it down last night, and now you've got Bowie up on the mound today.
Wysong delivered his best performance of the season, 5 1/3 scoreless with 8 strikeouts to force this Game 3. Nobody on and 2 out for the lefty second baseman Ryan McKay. A first offering from Bowie. Sails above the letters of the fastball. 1-0. McKay playing for the 3rd straight night. He batted 3rd a night ago, as he did in Game 1 here against the Braves. Still no score in the top of the 1st between Hyannis and Bourne. 1-0 pitch. Ripped into left field. It drops in front of Kelly. A base hit. McKay chugs into first with a 2-out single.
And that's the Ryan McKay that these Harbor Hawks are looking for in this ball game. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride in the month of August. He was 0 for his last 9 going into yesterday's ball game, but had a 2-hit performance, seemed to right the ship a little bit. And man, he carried that momentum straight into this performance.
2 for 5 with a couple of singles in a row for the man on first base and Ryan McKay. 2 outs for the righty Dayton against the Braves as a DH. The lefty Bowie comes home. Fires a first pitch fastball beneath the knees of LaChance, 1-0. Top of the 1st, still no score here in Game 3 between Hyannis and Bourne. McKay on first after the 2-out single. The righty LaChance digs in for a first at-bat of the game. Bowie steps off and spins a pickoff to first base.
LaChance 2 for his last 9 against this Bourne team, which not that bad, but when you think about what he did in the regular season, it just kind of puts it in perspective. He batted .615 against these Bourne Braves in the regular season.
On a pickoff attempt, they got him. Bowie over to Cade Lewis, returning to the lineup. He makes an immediate impact and ends the frame. Ryan McKay leadoff 2-out single, not enough to bring home any runs. Still scoreless, headed bottom 1.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Bottom of the first here at Doran Park. Game 3 of the division series between Hyannis and Bourne still scoreless after Reese Bowie faces the minimum despite a 2-out single from Ryan McKay thanks to a little help from his first baseman Cade Lewis on a pickoff attempt. And here are how the Braves line up in this critical Game 3. It's the left fielder Gavin Kelly leading off for the second straight game, playing his third different position. Cade Lewis and Braden Holcomb return to the lineup back-to-back, 2 and 3 for the first baseman and third baseman, respectively. Riker Waite's been the every-game shortstop for Scott Landers. He is batting fourth and batting only lefty tonight. Cal Sefcik, the right fielder, bats fifth for the second night in a row. Sebastian Mexico in the 6th hole playing center field. Last night's hero, Mark Quattrani, batting seventh, the catcher, followed up by Ryan Cooney at second base, and John LaGrande, the 9-hole, playing DH. The righty out of Charlotte, or headed to Charlotte, formerly of South Carolina, Eddie Copper toes the rubber. Game 3 starter for Mitch Carricker, only a rising redshirt sophomore. Day 1 Harbor Hawk from the windup comes home. And a first pitch to Kelly finds the inside corner, strike one. Copper's been here since the opening game of the season, got into the opening game of the season, primarily when he was a reliever. 0-1. Finds that inside corner again, 0-2. Recently, Copper's become the starter of 4 straight and has pitched in these high leverage situations quite a bit. 0-2 pitch. Skips into Brody Briggs behind the dish, 1-2.
And we've seen it because he started to really get command of his mix. He's got a fastball, a slider, and a changeup. That slider has looked pretty deadly. The first pitch of this ball game, he went to that slider, mixed it with the fastball right away. He tunnels his pitches really, really well.
Shakes his first sign from Briggs. From the windup, he kicks and throws. 1-2, locates on the inside half. Strike 3. Kelly barely moved the bat, and Copper found the zone with the breaking ball for out number 1.
Yeah, Gavin Kelly thought that one was just a little bit low, but Brody Briggs did a phenomenal job framing it, and that was a great, great pitch. A quick first out.
Harbor Hawk team that struck out 22 across the 2 games against the Braves in these playoffs. Still no score, bottom 1. 1 out, no one aboard for the lefty first baseman, Cade Lewis. Out of the lineup yesterday, slots back in. First pitch to him. Sails high above the letters, 1-0. With the fastball he just threw, Copper has got himself that 3-pitch mix. We've seen all 3 pitches so far in this game. 1-0. Slapped towards third. Miles Davis scoops it up, throws across the diamond. High of Jace Dobby. It brings him off the bag, and Lewis reaches.
That's what's plagued Hyannis infielders over the course of not just the season, but just this series. Yesterday, 2 leadoff hitters for Bourne got on base because of infield errors, and Miles Davis, he has struggled over at third all season long. That's just been an unfortunate fact for him. But in every game, he settles in nicely. It just kind of seems like he needs to calm his nerves a little bit on that first play.
So Cade Lewis on first after the error on Miles Davis over at third. 1 out. It's the bottom of the first, and still no score for another returnee to the lineup in the third baseman, Braden Holcomb. First pitch, a fastball that misses inside on the check swing. He did not go around. Righty Holcomb will check over to third. Michael Schukerman is behind the plate. Rick Forsover at first. Mike Hinojosa, the only umpire from the last 2 games, still in the crew today. Copper's 1-0. Sails inside, 2-0.
Copper straightening him up there with the changeup. We haven't really seen it to the righties yet. He's going to use it a lot against those lefties because it's got some good arm side run, but just threw it a little bit inside there to Holcomb.
Holcomb, a rising junior at Vanderbilt, 2-year Bourne Brave. 2-0. Swing, get him foul ball. Back to the on-deck circle by the third base side, 2-1. Holcomb was 1 for 3 in Game 1 here at Doran Park. He also walked and ripped a 2-out single in the first inning. He's looking for a similarly hot start here with Cade Lewis on first and 1 out. Bottom 1, it's a scoreless affair between Hyannis and Bourne. From the stretch, Copper fires. Swing, get a miss. Fanned at the breaking ball from Copper. Other 2 pitches along with that fastball, slider and a changeup, both sitting high 70s to low 80s. Holcomb digs into the back of the box. Copper ready from the stretch. He delivers and chopped slowly towards the mound off to the left side. Copper fumbled it as he tried to get it into his glove, and everybody's safe. Lewis to second. Holcomb chugs into first without a throw, and the Braves have something brewing in the first.
It was a tough play for Eddie Copper. It looked like he just looked up a little too early. Tried to make that throw and turn it before he actually got the ball in his glove. Messed it up on the transfer a little bit, and that's just an unfortunate break. 2 in a row for the Hyannis infield.
Runners on first and second, 1 out, bottom 1. It's still a scoreless affair for the moment as the left-handed hitting Riker Waite comes to the dish. Everyday shortstop for Scott Landers since day 1 here on the Cape. The righty Copper comes home and fires a first pitch offering outside, 1-0. For Waite, teammates with Braden Holcomb at Vanderbilt. Both Waite a rising sophomore, Holcomb going into his junior year. A couple of guys that have been productive for the Braves in addition to being here since day 1. 1-0, tails away from the low corner of the zone, 2-0. Holcomb reaches on the error by Eddie Copper, the pitcher, over to the left side of the mound. A couple of errors have put Braves along the base paths in this inning after Miles Davis over at third. 2-0, right down Broadway with a fastball, 2-1. It's not like Copper's hasn't faced damage in his past 4 starts, the only 4 he's made in the regular season. He's allowed 2 or more runs in 3 of them. 2-1. Launched high into left field. Garrett Larson cheating towards the alley, ranges towards the foul line, and makes the grab for out number 2.
Big out there, keeps the base runners at bay. Lewis thought he might be able to get a jump and go to third base, but he's kept over there because Larson did a really good job turning his hips and planting that right foot in the dirt so that he could make that throw quickly back into the infield.
Third righty in the first 5 due up for Cal Sefcik. Right fielder has got 2 aboard and 2 out. Bottom 1, still scoreless here at Doran Park. The righty Copper still in the stretch with a glove at his chest. Steps off momentarily, disengaging with 9 on the pitch clock. Now he resets. Righty on righty, first pitch. Slapped right off the mound to the second baseman, McKay. He flips over to Bates for short, who covers and ends the threat right there. Couple of errors bring Braves to the base pass, but Eddie Copper strands them both with 2 quick outs. Still scoreless, headed to the top of the second.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Through 1 full frame here of Game 3 of the Division Series, Hyannis and Bourne still scoreless. As we head to the top of the second, Reese Bowie faced the minimum in his first inning of work with the help of a pickoff attempt after Ryan McKay's 2-out single. And for the Hyannis starter, Eddie Copper, a couple of errors put Braves along the base paths, but 2 quick outs ended the threat right there to keep it a 0-0 ball game. 4, 5, and 6 due up to face the lefty out of Wake Forest in Bowie, and Dayton LaChance will have another opportunity to face this lefty after the pickoff.
Yeah, he saw a couple of pitches from Bowie, so should help his eye a little bit. He took a couple really good pitches, kept that bat on his shoulder, which we haven't seen often from Dayton LaChance. He's kind of an all-or-nothing guy, will really swing hard and swing often, looking for those big hits, but it does translate and mean that he strikes out more than some. But in that last attempt, not even an at-bat, he did see a couple pitches, and he left that bat on his shoulder.
Well, Chance was 9 of his last 15 against the Braves entering yesterday. Had a 2 RBI single in the first and reached on an error in the third, but then struck out 3 times in a row, including to end the game. The lefty Bowie comes set from the stretch and fires. First pitch floats outside the zone with a breaking ball. 1-0. For LaChance, the numbers, as we've talked about ad nauseum this season, widely different when he catches versus DHs. He caught last night and delivered that 1-for-4 performance. 13 of 29 entering the game as a DH. Bowie's second offering dips low, 2-0. Shown the power this season with a couple of home runs against Orleans in the same game, penultimate matchup of the year for Hyannis, and also delivered the power against the Braves he's had all season. He fouls the 2-0 offering back.
And it just seems like he's a bit more comfortable DHing, just he can only focus on hitting. He doesn't have to think about being behind the plate. Yesterday, he made a costly error in that ball game, and it was kind of after that point where his bat went a little bit quiet. So some guys are just like that, where they prefer to focus on just hitting, or they like the distraction of playing a position as well. He might just be one of those guys that likes to DH.
2-1. Chopped foul down the third base line, 2-2. At McKeon Park against the Braves in the regular season, he was 7 for 7, 4 extra base hits, 3 runs scored, and 4 RBIs. Didn't strike out once. And he struck out 13 times in 13 games across the course of the season. We thought maybe it might just be that he's playing the Braves, playing that team very well, which does happen. But then he continued the success DHing against other teams as well, including the game with 2 homers against Orleans. Bowie comes set for a 2-2 count. From the stretch, he fires. LaChance skies it foul, out of play. Nobody on, nobody out. Dayton LaChance, the first batter of the top of the second, where the Hawks and Braves are still scoreless. Game 3 of the West Division Series will come whittled down to the single game that was eerily reminiscent of last year's playoffs, where a year ago, the Braves bounced the Harbor Hawks from the postseason in a single game at McKeon Park. Bowie's 2-2. Another foul ball into the backstop from LaChance.
And LaChance fouling off quite a few baseballs, a good sign for him that he's seeing Bowie early, because he's the kind of guy that can really make a difference and can send a spark through the rest of this batting order. It was a quick 1-2-3 in the top of the first, the third being a pickoff of Ryan McKay after a single. But not only can he kind of show the guys a little something, he can also relay some information after this.
He digs in, 2-2 on the way. Here it is. Floats foul and over the netting. LaChance has fought off 3 straight foul balls, and that a rarity to see bat to ball against Reese Bowie. In his lone start this season against Falmouth on August 1st, his first day here on Cape Cod when he was activated from the Ocean State of the CCBL, his only outs not by a strikeout, a flyout, and a groundout. Didn't induce much bat to ball contact against the Commodores, and Ryan McKay tagged him for a single early on. Also held devoid of a strikeout in the first inning. 2-2 payoff. LaChance knocks it into center field. Sebastian Mexico jogs towards the alley and gloves the first out.
Bowie went with that high fastball. LaChance did a pretty good job catching up to it, but he was just a little low, as can often happen with the high heaters. Just underneath it. Still a good swing. LaChance made some good contact, and man, an 8-pitch at bat. I think he'll take that all day long.
1 out and no one aboard for the righty right fielder, Devin Mitchell. One among the hotter hitters in the Hyannis Harbor, and can continue that yesterday. Bowie's first offering. Launched, or rather jammed into left center field. Riker Waite jogs backwards and gloves a quick second out. That's all Bowie needs right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, weak contact. That's the name of the game for Reese Bowie. That's why he's been so successful. And now we might start seeing some strikeouts, because once he goes through this order one time and he knows the tendencies, can see a little bit of when and why batters swing, that's when the pitchers can get a little bit more confident, throwing some more heat and throwing some more movement.
Lefty shortstop Charlie Bates with 2 outs and no one aboard. He takes a first pitch strike with a breaking ball right down Broadway, 0-1. There's a flip side to that, though, that the second time through the order for Hyannis, at least yesterday, didn't make all much of an impact when you consider the efficacy at the plate, because they hit early and often. 0-1. Sliced fouled on the third base line, 0-2.
It's a game of adjustments. I mean, the batters make adjustments against the pitchers. The pitchers try to do the same against the batters. And the big question, the team that wins the baseball game is usually the team that makes the adjustment faster and better. Last night, it was probably the Bourne Braves. Nate Wysong shut it down.
His counterpart on the bump, Reese Bowie, comes set from the stretch and fires. 0-2 offering floats inside with a breaking ball, 1-2. The Braves, meanwhile, went 8 up, 8 down against the lefty starter Max Stammel. Riker Waite's walk in the third inning, followed up by Gavin Kelly's single, didn't bring home for any runs, but 2 innings later, the Braves struck back and ended up taking the game. 1-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. There's the first strikeout for Reese Bowie. It ends the second, a 1-2-3 frame for the Bourne starter, headed to the bottom of the second, still scoreless.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Bottom of the second at Doran Park, Game 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League's West Division Series between Hyannis and Bourne. It's still a 0-0 ball game here at Doran Park. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Bravos against the righty Eddie Copper for Hyannis. Copper faced 2 above the minimum into the first inning. A couple of errors reached Cade Lewis and Braden Holcomb in consecutive batters, but quick outs from Riker Waite and Cal Sefcik evaded any sort of threat. Reese Bowie faced the minimum in the top of the second inning, and if he's humming, Graham, it could be trouble for the Harbor Hawks.
Yeah, it really could. Reese Bowie started to find that location a little bit towards the end of the top of the second. Got that strikeout against Charlie Bates, a guy who has struck out a bit over the course of the season, but recently he's been putting bat to ball pretty well.
The lefty Sebastian Mexico, center fielder, the first batter of the second in a scoreless ball game. And Copper's first offering clips the knees for strike 1. Copper making start number 5 after 4 straight appearances were starts to end the regular season. 0-1. Another low pitch on the inner corner, and it misses for ball 1. Copper's 5.79 ERA, 23 1/3 innings. A very good sign. 1-1 is chopped towards second base. Ryan McKay fields with a forehand and fires to Jace Dobby at first for the inaugural out. Copper's numbers this year, really the first look at him in great fashion like this, because he only made 8 appearances as a freshman in 2024 at South Carolina, redshirted his sophomore year.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that was looking for a couple more appearances here in the Cape League, and he's gotten them. He had quite a few relief appearances, and now this is his 5th start, so not quite sure it's what he expected, making that change from reliever to starter, but more starts.
First pitch to Mark Cotrani, a breaking ball. Swing induces a swing and a miss. 1 out and no one aboard for last night's hero. Cotrani got up in the 9th, down to his final strike. Bourne about to be eliminated with a 2-out double. 0-1, another swing and a miss, 0-2.
Copper doing such a good job right now mixing up those pitches. Goes with the wipeout breaking ball. The slider gets Cotrani way out in front of it, and that time the changeup. He is mixing up speeds, mixing up locations. It's all working for Copper.
0-2. Skips into Brody Briggs, ball and 2 strikes. Copper working much quicker than he did through the first 5 batters he faced in the opening inning. He got Sebastian Mexico to ground out to start the second. Now ahead to Mark Cotrani, 1-2. Shakes his first sign. From the windup, he kicks and delivers. Broken bat flare off the mound towards short. Bates charges by the second base bag. He slings to first for the second out.
Now batting from Oregon.
And the quick work there pays off for Copper with a couple groundouts.
Yeah, he's going to need that because he can get strikeouts, but he's not necessarily a guy that relies on his Ks. Only 2 over 4 2/3 at Orleans. He's got one already tonight. It was the very first of the game for him against Gavin Kelly, but he's at his best when he can get strikeouts and also pitch to contact.
First pitch to Ryan Cooney. Fastball dropped by Brody Briggs. It was outside. 1-0. Nobody on and 2 outs for the righty second baseman Cooney. Bottom of the second, Hawks and Braves still scoreless. 1-0. Breaking ball floats inside and clips the inner corner. 1-1. Cooney's played in 4 of the 5 matchups in the regular seasons against Hyannis. Started at second in both playoff games. And Copper fires a strike with a breaking ball. 1-2.
That's becoming a really good pitch for him. He's leaning on that slider a lot right now, not going too heavily with the fastball.
From the windup, he kicks and fires. Breaking ball on the inside corner, strike 3. Couple of looking Ks for Eddie Copper in this game. The second one ends the second frame as Bourne and Hyannis are still scoreless here in Game 3.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Time for the top of the third here at Doran Park. Still no score between Hyannis and Bourne. Game 3 of the West Division Series looks to be a pitcher's duel in its early goings. 7, 8, and 9 due up for Hyannis. It'll be the third baseman Miles Davis seeing his first playoff action to lead it off. The lefty Reese Bowie has put 6 up and 6 down. Got his first strikeout after 11 in his first only start of the Cape Cod Baseball League season on August 1st. And if he can rekindle some of that fire that he had against the Falmouth Commodores, Hyannis better look out.
Yeah, he can be deadly with that strikeout number. He's so good at tunneling his pitches and using a bunch of different ones. He's shown breaking ball and off speed, the fastball, of course, to these Hyannis batters, and he's faced the minimum in his first 2 innings of work. He's picked up right where he left off against Falmouth.
Mitch Carricker looking to exploit the matchup against the lefty starter with 2 new righties in the lineup, first of which is Miles Davis, the 7-hole, to lead off the third inning. Bowie's first offering. Fastball that clips the inside corner, 0-1.
And the one difference between this start early on and Bowie's last start is that, unlike Falmouth, Hyannis has gotten a hit against Bowie. That was Ryan McKay in the very first inning. LaChance had a 9-pitch at bat against him, so they're seeing it pretty well.
0-1 delivery. Fastball scoots inside on Miles Davis, 1-1. Well, Davis committed an error in his first inning of work over at third base. Eddie Copper stranded both runners that reached by error in that inning. From the stretch, here's Bowie. Breaking ball floats beneath the knees, 2-1. Davis told us his first day that he arrived from the State College of Florida, he's taking his talents from JUCO to Oklahoma, that he's a hitter. Mitch Carricker would love to see that on display right here. 2-1. Golfs it into foul territory, first base side, ranging over Cade Lewis. It bounces ahead of the fence. So a long second strike for Miles Davis.
Lewis almost caught that. That was an unbelievable attempt, but just out of his reach. Man, Bowie is throwing some good stuff at Davis. Davis doing a really good job staying in this count right now because the changeup that Bowie is throwing is looking deadly. It starts right down the heart and then just trails a little bit to Bowie's arm side, that left side, away from the right-handed batter. And Davis has been caught looking at it a couple times because he thinks that it's going to dip low or just go off the plate, and it stays right there.
Sits 82-84 for the rising sophomore Bowie out of Wake Forest. He fires. And floats a breaking ball right down Broadway. Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Reese Bowie, and he freezes Miles Davis to begin the third.
Goes with the slider there, comes in around a similar speed, but opposite movement. Bowie is looking really cool, calm, and collected right now in a very big spot. Only his second appearance, second start against Cape League competition. And man, he's faced the minimum in his first two and just struck out Davis.
Now the lefty Brody Briggs. Catcher returns to the lineup after not appearing yesterday. Team leader with 17 walks, no one aboard and 1 out. First pitch. Another breaking ball, another strike right down the middle from Reese Bowie. Still no score in Game 3 of the West Division Series between Hyannis and Bourne. Winner takes on Cotuit in the division finals beginning tomorrow. From the stretch, Bowie's 0-1. Breaking ball locates on the outside corner, 0-2.
Toughest pitch in baseball, left-on-left slider, and Bowie has utilized that matchup on back-to-back pitches. Brody Briggs is going to have a tough time seeing anything other than that.
It's a lefty-dominant lineup for Mitch Carricker, 5 versus 4. 0-2. Sinks beneath his knees, 1-2. Those 3 of the 5 lefties in the first 3 batters, Owen Prince, Jace Dobby, Ryan McKay. The next 2 lefties at 6 and 8 with Charlie Bates and now Brody Briggs, who digs in from the back of the box now. 2 outs, 1 out, no one aboard for the lefty out of Arizona State. He fires and throws a breaking ball inside. For Brody Briggs, the return to the lineup, a welcome sight for Mitch Carricker. He's worked that team-leading 17 walks. That's all without a hit in his last 6 games, but walks in 3 straight entering the postseason. Lefty digs into the back of the box. A 2-2 count. The pitch. He chops it towards short. Braden Holcomb comes over to cover and slings the second out. Nice play with the forehand from the Vanderbilt Commodore, Braden Holcomb in the hot corner. And there's 2 gone.
Well, Bowie made it so hard on Briggs to see anything around the middle of the zone and anything other than a little left to right movement. He threw the slider a ton, mixed in the cutter a couple of times. Same movement as a slider, just a little bit faster. Briggs and all the lefties in this lineup are going to have a really tough time against Bowie.
No one aboard and 2 gone for the righty Garrett Larson. A new arrival here to the Harbor Hawks, getting his first postseason action. First pitch. Breaking ball, loops inside and clips for a first strike. Larson, a rising junior at Yale, coming over from the Danbury Westerners of the NECBL, where he was an all-star. Only appeared in 1 game for the Harbor Hawks this year. 1-0, fouled back, 1-1. And for Larson, another righty in to exploit the matchup. But Mitch Carricker told us pregame that it's all hands on deck, and Larson not excluded from that.
Yeah, only making his 3rd appearance of the summer with the Harbor Hawks, but it's a big one. I mean, this is a very big moment. Went 0 for 4 against Orleans back on August 2nd, so he's got to try to find that bat and find that swing.
A 2-year starter for the Yale Bulldogs. 1-1 offering. Chopped softly towards third on a hot Riker Waite. Fields and slings to first in time for the 3rd out. 9 up and 9 down to start the day for the left-hander Reese Bowie. And Hyannis will look to stop the Bourne Braves from getting any runs in a scoreless affair here as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. But first, Ethan Wax has more.
Thank you very much, Gio. Perhaps overlooked in the disappointment of last night's collapse against Bourne has been the smoking hot bat of Nevada first baseman Jace Dobby. Dobby, who struggled in the regular season, hitting just 195, including 3 for 24 in the final 2 weeks of the season, has found his mojo in time for the playoffs, going 5 for 8 in the series against Bourne, with 3 RBIs, including a sacrifice fly and an RBI single last night that boosted the Hawks' lead to 4-0. Dobby, who was named to the All-Mountain West first team in his first season with Nevada, has shown a knack for delivering when the stakes are the highest. In the Mountain West Championship 2-game series, he went 6 for 16 with 2 RBIs. Dobby has driven in runs in 3 of his 4 opportunities with runners in scoring position. While the team was 4 for 9 in such situations yesterday, it has left 19 runners on base during the series. If it wants to exercise the demons that has seen the Hawks eliminated by Bourne in each of the last three years, it will need to deliver clutch hits tonight like Jace Dobby has done in the series to date. Guys, back to you.
Thank you so much, Ethan. Jace Dobby has been arguably the most consistent bat in either order across these first 2 games. 5 for 6 entering the day. Beginning the bottom of the third against the righty Eddie Copper, 9-1-2 for the Braves. The lefty John LeGrande digs in. First pitch. Skied down the third base line. It ranges into left field. Miles Davis going to foul territory, losing the hat as he watches it bounce over the fence and out of play.
Davis almost got there. He just kind of threw the glove out with a hope that the ball would fall into it, and it almost did. It was pretty far away from him originally, and he had to really just put his head down and try to dig it out of the dirt. He nearly did. It was a great effort.
Still scoreless here in the bottom of the third inning. Game 3 of the West Division Series. Bourne and Hyannis fighting for the right to play the Katuitt Kettleers in the division finals. 1 series away from a Cape Cod Baseball League championship. 0-1. Foul down the third base line and out of play. 0-2. John LeGrande, a rising senior out of St. John's. Another day 1 Bourne Brave. Scotlanders wouldn't think of pulling him from the lineup. 0-2. Copper throws a breaking pitch low beneath his knees. 1-2. Yet look, benefit from a day off given how much he's taken this series.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where the DHing comes in handy.
He chops the next offering foul. 1-2.
Because he suffered that lower leg injury in Game 1 out in center field and was kind of hobbling the rest of the game. He played it, he toughed it out, and then played yesterday, of course, playing tonight as well. But I think Scott Lander is just talking to him, saying, all right, is DHing enough? And clearly it is.
1-2 ripped down the first base line, and it's a fair ball. LeGrande takes a wide turnaround first as Mitchell goes into foul territory, picks it up, is cut off the short, bounces in as LeGrande steams into second with a double. Leads off the third inning with a first extra base hit from either side.
I'll tell you what, that leg looks totally fine. He was digging it out of the dirt, wanted to turn 3, but was held up at second base. He has been so impressive all season long, coming off a 3 for 5 performance.
Awarded third base.
No, he's just taking off his gear and he's going back to second.
That confused me. He was standing right on the bag with the third base coach for Bourne, but he instead jogs back to second. Leadoff doubles. Got the first runner in scoring position of this inning. Second of the game for the Braves. Cade Lewis reached on an E5 and made it over to second in the first against Eddie Copper, who now moves to the stretch as the Braves flip the order. Nobody out, LeGrande on first. First offering. Ripped in to center field. Owen Prince takes a few steps back and makes the grab in center field. His throw down the third, a good one. Can Miles Davis get the tag in time? He cannot. Took him way off the bag. The throw was well timed, just not well placed. And LeGrande moves 90 feet away from run number 1.
John LeGrande slipped off of the second base bag. It was not a good jump. Owen Prince threw a beauty, but it was just a little bit off the plate, pulled Miles Davis away, and he just couldn't quite get the tag down.
And a dangerous part of the order for Eddie Copper to be incurring this damage. 1 out, LeGrande on third. Here comes the lefty first baseman, Cade Lewis. Rising junior out of Wake Forest. Corner infielders come in. First pitch. Breaking ball floats on the inside corner. 0-1. Corner infielders come in. First pitch. Breaking ball floats on the inside corner, 0-1. Lewis out of the lineup yesterday, went 1 for 4 in game 1 here at Doran Park with a single in the 7th. Also reached on a fielder's choice. Copper's 0-1. Ripped into center field. It dunks in front of Owen Prince, a base hit. LaGrande jogs in easily, and the Bourne Braves take a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd.
Just playing small ball, sometimes that's all it takes. The fly out to center gets LaGrande over to 3rd, and all Cade Lewis is thinking is put something in the air to the outfield. And Eddie Copper just hung a breaking ball over the middle. Lewis saw his pitch, took one for a ride, and the Bourne Braves take a pretty quick lead.
Bourne has scored the last 3 runs against the Harbor Hawks, going back to the top of the 9th last night, where the Hawks surged ahead 4-0. And if you include those as well, it's up to 6 in a row from the Braves. Copper pours in a first pitch strike to Braden Holcomb. Still Cade Lewis on first base, 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. Bourne has just taken the first lead of the game. After LaGrande's leadoff double, the DH comes home to score. 0-1 offering. Swing, get a miss. Holcomb fans at a breaking ball from Eddie Copper, who can still weather the storm despite the early damage.
Yeah, he can, and that's a great way to do it. First pitch changeup creeps in on the righty Holcomb and then goes right to the slider, breaks one away from him, and he chased it all day long like he thought it was the fastball.
0-2. Tapped into left field. That one drops in front of Garrett Larson. And the Braves keep it coming. They'll go station to station. Back-to-back singles from Cade Lewis and Braden Holcomb with 1 out in the 3rd.
And another slider that Eddie Copper just hung up a little bit on the zone. Holcomb turned on it, sent it into left field, and now Brody Briggs is going to go up and talk to him. This is also where a catcher's role is really important. You got to pump up your pitcher or you got to settle him down. The catcher's the only guy really that knows which one to go to in this moment. Looks like he went with the settle tactic, just trying to get Copper's nerves underneath him. A rising redshirt sophomore. So Copper in a really big moment of his young career.
He's only made 8 appearances as a college pitcher at South Carolina, redshirted his sophomore year. He announced early in this season, just 2 days into his summer on Cape Cod, that he'd be moving on to the Charlotte 49ers. Now in a high-leverage spot in what could be his final outing of the summer. First pitch to the lefty Riker Waite. Waite squares around a bunt, pulls it away, pitches outside for ball 1. A couple aboard for the Braves, 1 out. It's a 1-0 game here in the bottom of the 3rd after the Braves have struck first in this inning. Thanks to the man on second, Cade Lewis. 1-0. Fouled back over the 3rd base line, 1-1.
Hyannis pitching has done a really good job against Riker Waite. Only 1 hit for him over these first 2 games, and this is a guy who had the 2nd best batting average in the Cape League during the regular season. So if there's one really, really bright spot for Hyannis pitching over the first couple games, it's been pitching to Waite.
Waite batting lefty against the righty Copper. 1-1 ripped into the gap and trickles into center field. Cade Lewis gets the stop sign at 3rd. Holcomb to 2nd. Riker Waite is the 3rd straight Brave to single here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Cade Lewis got a really, really late jump. It was kind of hit right in that area of, okay, is it going to hang up and is Owen Prince going to have a chance? Or is it going to get down? It ended up pretty easily getting down, but sometimes it can just be hard to judge over at second base. If he got a little bit of a better jump and got a better feel for that off the bat, he might have been able to come home.
Bases full of Braves. Bottom of the 3rd, 1-0 Bourne as they've taken the lead in this inning and look to pour it on early. It's Cal Sefcik, the righty right fielder, to the dish against the right-hander Copper. First offering, swing, get a miss. Copper throws a breaking ball beneath the knees, and Sefcik fans. He grounded out to end of the 1st inning on a 4-6 flip from Ryan McKay to Charlie Bates to get the lead runner in Holcomb. He now stands on 2nd. Lewis at 3rd, Riker Waite at 1st. 0-1. Drifts inside, breaking ball, 1-1. Sefcik, a favorable hitter to have to the plate for Scott Landers in this spot. Went 2 for 4 yesterday with a couple of singles and a sac fly. Also scored the go-ahead run. Copper's 1-1. Skips into Brody Briggs and by. A ricochet back will keep Lewis at 3rd base. A fortuitous bounce keeps a run potentially off the board for Bourne.
Well, the Braves clearly know their ballpark. It's all brick behind home plate, and that took a huge hop. Brody Briggs pretty much turned around, and the ball was in his lap.
Really fortunate there for Eddie Copper. And credit Cade Lewis for the knowledge of his surroundings to not only know his ballpark and his brick backstop, but to see it go into Briggs' glove and stop and head back to third. After all that, a 2-1. Chopped foul down the first base line, 2-2. Sefcik, a rising junior at Cincinnati, charged with reversing a trend for the Braves that has not favored them with runners in scoring position. 0 for 9 in game 1. They upped that to 4 of 17 in game 2. Still not pretty. 2-2. Sinks low beneath his knees to run the count full.
Everything right now low in the zone for Eddie Copper. He's just looking for some weak contact to try to turn a double play. And right now he's delivering that. He's hitting his spots time and time again.
Copper comes set from the stretch as the righty Sefcik digs in the back of the box. His 3-2 offering. Floats low and away to Brody Briggs, and it's a full count walk for Cal Sefcik. That brings in Cade Lewis, and the Braves have made it 2-zip here in the bottom of the third.
Well,
that brings in Cade Lewis, and the Braves have made it 2-zip here in the bottom of the third.
Well, it's a really nice at bat from the perspective of Eddie Copper. Did exactly what he wanted. Did a good job of getting back into it with a couple really nice breaking balls. He threw the changeup a lot. That was probably the pitch that just missed a little bit. A couple of those changeups missed inside, straightened up Cal Sefcik. But still a really, really good at bat. Just didn't go his way.
Mitch Carricker comes from the dugout to the bump to talk up Eddie Copper. Likely to settle him down. Bases still loaded with 1 out. Bottom 3, it's now 2-0 Bourne. After John LaGrande begins the inning with a double, Cade Lewis with an RBI single to bring him home. Cal Sefcik just walked in a run after Braden Holcomb and Riker Waite singled. Lefty going in the bullpen for Hyannis. Copper only in his 3rd inning of work. Sebastian Mexico, the lefty center fielder, coming up. He led off the 2nd inning with a ground out. Now as the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 3rd. First delivery. Breaking ball floats in the bottom of the knees and clips for strike 1. For Copper, allowed runs in 3 of his 4 starts that he made to round out the regular season. Now was allowed 2 on his register. 0-1 breaking ball on a check swing. Mexico did not go around. 1-1. And Copper got outs productively. 11 strikeouts in his last 3 starts, up to 14 with the 3 in his first start on July 13th. Only just getting into this role. 1-1. Ripped into center field. Owen Prince ranges to the alley and makes the grab. Tagging is Braden Holcomb. He steams in ahead of the throw. And it's 3-0 Braves here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Riker Waite took a really weird stop-start off of second base. If Owen Prince went to third, he might have had a chance to get that 3rd out of the inning. But, you know, your instinct always to go home in that situation in case the runner at 3rd slips or something, and you might be able to prevent a run from coming home.
Cal Sefcik stayed put at 1st. The aforementioned Waite moves over to 3rd, 90 feet from a 4th run for the Braves, as Bourne looks to match Hyannis' surge yesterday when the Hawks jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Now facing Mark Cotrani, yesterday's hero. First pitch in for a strike. They've got Sefcik in a rundown, going to run at the plate, and they got him. A bang-bang play as Riker Waite tried to steal a 4th run, and Ryan McKay said no, sir. So just 3 runs on the board for the Bourne Braves in the bottom of the 3rd, but to take the lead, and Graham Nash has got you covered for the middle 3 innings here at Doran Park.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Top of the fourth inning, 0-0 ball game at Doran Park in a decisive Game 3 between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Bourne Braves. And excuse me, it's 3-0. Mine slipped a little bit there. The Braves with an explosive bottom of the third. Hyannis going to try to get right back at him, but it's going to be tough. Reese Bowie has been pitching very, very well. Has faced the minimum in all of the first 3 frames and went 3 up, 3 down in his last 2.
And this is when Bourne really needs him to lock it down after the good inning, get the hot bats back in that were just caught stealing. The bats did not go down easily, and it was in fact the base running that changed that, but Hyannis kind of a new opportunity with the top of the order back up.
Second look for this order at Reese Bowie, starting with Owen Prince. He grounded out to the second baseman Ryan Cooney to lead off the ball game. Games 3 for 9. First pitch, fastball, dots the bottom half of the zone for strike 1. Prince with a 2 for 5 performance yesterday. Had a big double, crossed home plate, struck out and stole a base. Bowie kicks and fires. Fastball upstairs, 1-1 count.
It's important for these Harbor Hawks hitters to work the at-bats because that's what they did last night. They had some success early, but then later on in the game, kind of a lot of quicker outs. So looking to change that here.
The 1-1. Catches the heart of his own. Bowie, we've seen him throw a lot of cutters and sliders to left-handers. Brody Briggs had a really tough time seeing it, just took a lot of pitches early on in the zone, and it's really helped Bowie jump out to leads in counts against these lefties. 1-2. Slapped straight back foul.
And that's a professional swing right there. And he doubled up on that off-speed pitch away, recognizing that Prince did not want to have to swing at it before 2 strikes, which he doesn't have to. Gets it again one more time. He's not going to do damage. Just flicks the barrel out and tries to buy another pitch, hopefully for him, over the heart.
Prince is really good at playing small ball and pesky defense at the plate. 1-2. Fastball up, just misses the zone. The count runs level at 2s. He's one of those guys that grips down on the bat immediately, not even for a 2-strike approach.
Because he knows he's not a power hitter.
Runs level at 2s. He's one of those guys that grips down on the bat immediately, not even for a 2-strike approach.
Because he knows he's not a power hitter. He's playing to his own advantage, and that's making contact, getting on base, and legging it out.
2-2. Down in the dirt, skips in, and Owen Prince has worked a full count.
This is arguably the hardest that Reese Bowie's had to work all day. Anything that the Harbor Hawks can do to get him out of his rhythm is going to be crucial because, as you mentioned, they faced the minimum the first time through. Now an opportunity with some new life.
That only the 41st pitch of the start for Reese Bowie. Payoff. Fouled straight back, another fastball that Prince just gets underneath.
And something that goes without saying, I didn't want to hash it out right here, is Prince, yes, we talk about the stolen base numbers, but the reason why it's so high is because he gets on base. And that's not an easy thing to do. Hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports. And he's getting on at a 300 clip on average. I mean, in the postseason, he's right there.
3-2. Upstairs on a fastball, and Owen Prince has a leadoff walk.
That's a hard-earned walk right there. And this is a Bourne team that during the regular season, at least, the highest walks in the Cape League. Hyannis second behind them. And at least in this postseason, they've really had to earn their walks. That is Hyannis at the plate, and that's a prime example.
That's Bowie's first walk of the ball game, only his second of the season with the Bourne Braves. Granted, this only his second start, but he has done nothing but fill up the zone in his limited time. Check over at Prince. It gets past the first baseman, Lewis. Prince takes off for second. He rounds second and is going for 3. He's held up. Owen Prince all the way around, 180 free feet.
Well, there's something that Harbor Hawks are going to have to take advantage of. Anytime you get on base, it just adds that pressure. Right here, you see the E1 immediately. This is a Bourne team. The errors were also up there during the regular season, and back on July 16th against these Harbor Hawks, they made 5 in one game, but were still able to win.
Both teams with a handful of errors in yesterday's ball game. The Harbor Hawks had 3, the Braves had 2. Jace Dobby up to the plate for a second time, waiting for his first pitch of his second plate appearance. It's a fastball right down Broadway. Dobby lined out to left his first time up. A pretty well hit ball, but right at Gavin Kelly. Top of the fourth, 3-0 ball game Braves. The 0-1. Fastball high. Talked about how Owen Prince has really started to find it in the postseason. How about Jace Dobby? 5 for 8 over the first 2 games with 3 RBIs, a double, and a walk. Has not struck out. 1-1. Lifted into right center field. Sebastian Mexico and Ryan Cooney in the area. But it's the right fielder, Cal Sefcik. Runner tags Prince at the plate, and he speeds past the tag from Mark Quattrani.
Well, there's you go. There's making it hurt. Jace Dobby honestly wasn't that deep into right center field, and that's the speed of Owen Prince. It's such an asset for Mitch Carricker. It doesn't always manifest in stolen bases. He got to third on the 2-base throwing error from the pitcher, and then a shallow sac fly. There you go.
Sefcik had his momentum coming towards home plate, too. All the odds were, frankly, in the right fielder's favor, and still Owen Prince found a way to leg it out. Bowie kicks and deals to Ryan McKay, who shows bunt, puts one down perfectly down the third base line. And it stays fair the entire way, hits the third base bag.
Well, Hyannis vying for some death by 1,000 cuts this inning, and the right play by both the pitcher, Bowie, and the third baseman, Braden Holcomb, just trying to let that ball roll foul. There's no need to try to pick it up in fair territory, but perfectly placed. You can't do it any better than that.
McKay, just a crafty baseball player. 2 singles on the day for him. He's now 4 for his last 7 against these Bourne Braves as Dayton LaChance steps up for a second time. McKay got picked off the last time he was at first. Bowie looking at him, but delivers to LaChance, who rips one down the third base line, but it curves foul.
He's all over the fastball right there, and he's a fastball hitter. And for Bowie, he's going to want to keep this baseball down in the zone. Don't want LaChance to get extended because he's the tying run. He could tie this game up with one swing.
And he had a really long plate appearance at bat the last time that he faced Bowie. 9 pitches. It resulted in a fly out to center. But he got bat on ball 6 times in a row. The 0-1. Fastball up in the zone, and LaChance just late fouls it down the first base side. That's the pitch where LaChance is licking his chops.
I'm honestly surprised that Bowie went right back to it, but credit him for where he's placing the baseball. It's not only up in the zone, it's on the inside part of the plate, trying to really saw him off. Might try to tunnel that with something soft low and away, but LaChance, a guy who's seen a lot of pitches, as you mentioned, so he's got all that in his back pocket.
Top of the fourth, 3-1 ball game. The Braves over the Hawks. Ryan McKay at first. The 0-2. LaChance lifts one into the shallow outfield. On the right side, Ryan Cooney, the second baseman, catches it in the right field grass.
Well, he finally goes low in the zone, and LaChance not able to get under the baseball to the part he wanted. Of course, just skied it to the right side, but it's that next guy up mindset right here. After the sac fly, you got the single. Don't get it with LaChance, but here an opportunity for Mitchell.
Devin Mitchell popped out to the shortstop Riker Waite his first time up back in the second. He's working with 2 outs and Ryan McKay over at first base. The Braves lead 3-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Bowie comes home. Mitchell fights one off to center field. Ryan Cooney makes the catch. And Ryan McKay is stranded at first base. However, Owen Prince comes home, makes it a 3-1 ball game. Braves heading into the bottom of the fray.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes have like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails of doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Bottom of the 4th inning, a 3-1 ball game. The Braves over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in a crucial Game 3 of the first round of the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs. It's going to be Mark Quattrani to lead off the inning. In the bottom of the 3rd, John LeGrande led off the inning with a double, the first leadoff batter to get on base in this ball game for the Braves. That was a category that they really succeeded in yesterday. 4 of 9 Bourne leadoff batters got on base, and that just set them up for success the entire ball game.
And they finally executed with runners in scoring position, of course, in that 9th inning last night, the biggest example of that. But still, on the series, Bourne, coming into this game alone, has left 22 on base, a lot of opportunities, especially in Game 1. They're really trying to rehash now back in front of the home crowd at Doran Park.
And thanks to a couple infield errors, the Braves were able to get those leadoff batters on first. Error on Jake Schaffner over at third base in yesterday's ball game, and a leadoff or an error on the pitcher. Quattrani leading off this inning, grounded out his first time up. Quattrani, Cooney, and LeGrande are due up in the bottom of this inning. That's 7, 8, 9. He's going up against a new pitcher in Justin Minneberry. Minneberry, a right-hander. He delivers. Fastball just misses outside. Minneberry making his 5th appearance of the Cape League season for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, has not allowed an earned run over 3 1/3. 3 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Comes in for Eddie Copper. The 1-0. Breaking pitch, fouled down the third base line.
Mitch Carricker certainly would have wanted a little bit more from Copper, but it wasn't a bad start. 3 runs, both all earned in 3 innings with 4 hits. But it was that kind of parade of hits in the 3rd that really got to him. And for Carricker, that's something he'll take because he doesn't want it to be for free. They had to earn it, and they did.
One to Quattrani. Fastball upstairs for ball 2. Minneberry last came into a ball game against Wareham on August 3rd. Pitch for 1 inning to a ball game against Wareham on August 3rd. Pitch for 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, no runs, no walks. Breaking ball. Gets a big swing from Quattrani. Count levels at 2-2.
Well, he clearly was not on that pitch. Guessing fastball, I assume, because he was so early and hitting his hard, and that's a prime example when you get a swing like that. Two.
Another breaking ball just cued down the first base line, foul.
And that was honestly a similar result. He was way out ahead, so he cues it off the end of the bat. That's now back-to-back soft stuff. Getting that sort of result, you can either go back to it a third time, although it will have to probably be in the strike zone considering now he knows that you're going to go away, or blow him away inside with the fastball.
Minneberry, fastball, slider, and changeup. It's 2-2. Fastball grounded down the third base line. Miles Davis with a nice pick off a hop. The throw, a strike to Jace Dobby for the first out of the inning.
And that's huge for the Harbor Hawks, especially after they went down with just the one run when they were looking for a little bit more. It's all about momentum. That's what this game of baseball is. And if you can get back in the dugout with the bats coming off a run, it's going to be in a good spot.
Momentum swings are talked a lot about in basketball and football, but kind of goes unnoticed in baseball. It really can be jarring how quickly a team can just steal momentum from one that has had it for over 9 innings.
I mean, it's a slower paced game, but it still exists.
Ryan Cooney takes a fastball on the inside corner for strike one. Cooney struck out looking his first time up. That was against Eddie Copper. This is first look at Justin Minneberry. Minneberry kicks and fires. Breaking ball skips in. Minneberry, in each appearance, has only pitched for 1 inning, so not necessarily a long haul guy. Might just be in to get a quick couple of outs. Favorable matchups, 2 of the 3 that are due up are righties. One out in the inning. Bottom of the 4th, 3-1 ball game. 1-1. Breaking ball pulled also at Miles Davis. Plays it off a hop. Long throw across the diamond in time to retire 2 in a row.
Especially when we talk about momentum in baseball being a slower thing because the game is slower. There's also kind of momentum game to game because Hyannis wins 3-1 here at Doran Park in the first game of the series. They start hot in game 2 last night at McKeon Park, but then they had a couple of things that didn't go their way in the later innings. Then Braves stole it right back, and then now they entered this game with momentum coming off a win. Hyannis trying to right the ship and bring it back in their favor.
Brings up John LeGrande. He doubled his last time up, which was to lead off the 3rd inning, the bottom of the 3rd inning. Minneberry gets him to pull one down the first base side, foul. And how about some momentum for Miles Davis? The first ball that was put in play for the Bourne Braves was right at him. His throw was off the bag, committed an error, and then back-to-back plays right at him. Played some really nice defense to get those outs.
All it takes is a little bit of confidence, and if he can get that, he's going to be great.
LeGrande takes a breaking ball that skips in for ball 1. John LeGrande, one of 3 Bourne Braves with an on-base streak above 10 games. He has been lights out for this Braves team despite going a little bit cold at the plate to start out the series. Went 0 for 3, did draw a walk and struck out twice. He just turned it on like a light last night. Two outs, 3-1 ball game, bottom of the 4th. LeGrande takes a heater up and away for ball 2. LeGrande, 3 for 5 yesterday, 2 strikeouts. Carried that momentum immediately into this game with that double. Minneberry's 2-1. Breaking pitch clips him on the leg.
He's a guy who's had to endure a lot already in this series. He suffered that, what we thought to be maybe the game-ending, season-ending injury in the first inning against the Harbor Hawks back the day before here at Doran Park in Game 1. Gets the DH duties yesterday and tonight, so getting the day off defensively, and then he gets plunked. You got to respect the grind, and he's a guy who played a full season at St. John's, and he's playing a full summer here at Bourne.
Hyannis pitching clipped Jason Torres in yesterday's ball game. That was in the top of the 9th inning when the Braves took the lead. Those kinds of free passes are ones that have really hurt Hyannis this season, especially as of late. Grande at first, flip to the top of the order. Gavin Kelly shows bunt, pulls back on a slider, and he takes ball one low and away.
Minneberry really going to that slider, kind of his go-to pitch, at least to open up at bats. And we honestly seen the fastball more as the out pitch when he gets to 2 strikes, but he's got them all working, and it's got to be good to see if you're Mitch Carricker.
Check over on the base runner, LeGrande well safe. That's something Eddie Copper did really well. He mixed a lot of his pitches. We didn't really see him stick to one. He was throwing everything, trying to mix up location, speed, all of it. Minneberry comes set for the 1-0 with 2 outs. A 3-1 ball game in the bottom of the 4th. And delivers. Another slider. Catches the zone. Low and away.
And it also induced a check swing. Of course, the strike was on the call. But even more to Minneberry's credit, because now he knows that that pitch is in the back mind of the hitter. And it got him to be a little bit uncomfortable. Made him a little bit off balance as well.
Another check over on the base runner. LeGrande absolutely a threat to steal. Stole a league second best 21 bases on 27 attempts in the regular season. Is yet to try to steal one in this series. Of course, part of the reason because of that injury he suffered in the first inning of the first game. 1-1, LeGrande goes. The pitch, low in the zone for a strike. The throwdown is late. And John LeGrande starting to look like his old self again.
Well, there's the first stolen base on either side tonight, and this has been a series. There's been a lot of testing on the base paths, and Brody Briggs, everybody knows the scouting report at this point. The guy's electric behind the plate, and he got the pitch he wanted to throw down on a fastball.
The Braves only tried to steal one against Briggs back in game 1. That was Ryan Cooney in the second inning. And then yesterday, the Braves stole 2. Runner in scoring position, 2 outs. 1-2 pitch. Fly down the first base side. Devin Mitchell and Jace Dobby giving chase, but it's well out of play. Gavin Kelly, it feels like he's really fought in this plate appearance, but really he's only seen 4 pitches. There were lots of checks over, and still he's found ways to get on that baseball.
Well, I was just going to say the exact same thing. The stolen base, the pickoff attempts at first, leaves a guy up there for a while. Some guys enjoy being up there longer, time for longer. Some guys don't.
Go, 1-2. Bounces in. Brody Briggs can't block it. And John LeGrande gets to third on a wild pitch.
That's got to be frustrating for Hyannis, who's played a pretty clean brand of baseball today as a whole, outside those 2 errors back in the first inning. It's been the wild pitches really throughout the late months of part of July and then I guess into August. A couple back in the first game of this series here at Doran Park as well.
In the young postseason, Hyannis has had a phenomenal ERA, second lowest in the Cape League playoffs at 2. But the free passes have still been an issue. Hyannis pitching has walked the third most batters with 9 coming into this game. LeGrande 90 feet away for making it 4-1. Deuce is wild. Slider hits the dirt, and that time Brody Briggs able to block it.
There's a catcher run saved, and it goes without saying that while Briggs wasn't able to stop the last.
Deuce is wild. Slider hits the dirt, and that time Brody Briggs able to block it.
There's a catcher run saved, and it goes without saying that while Briggs wasn't able to stop the last one, he has still been so great behind the plate this entire year for the whole pitching staff.
He's got to get one more pitch out of Justin Minneberry to try to end the inning. Gavin Kelly with a full count. Payoff. Swung on and missed. Minneberry gets out of the jam and strands John LeGrande over at third. Still 3-1 heading into the 5th.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home, with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Reese Bowie still hurling for the Bourne Braves in the top of the 5th inning. It's a 3-1 ball game here in Game 3 of the 3-game series. Reese going to go up against Charlie Bates, Miles Davis, and Brody Briggs in the top of the 5th. He's only allowed 2 hits in this ball game, both to Ryan McKay. Everyone else, he has really done a good job of shutting down.
He really has, and it's been first pitch strikes and consistency. And what was different about that 4th inning where Hyannis played a run, it was that leadoff at bat with Owen Prince. He worked it very deep, and that's something that the Harbor Hawks did not do really in the first couple frames, and it resulted in the walk, of course, the 2-base throwing error, and then the sac fly. The point is, Hawks need to do something. They have to work deeper into at-bats.
Charlie Bates, the lefty, going to lead off the inning against Bowie, the lefty. Bowie has been dominating these left-on-left matchups in this ball game. Bowie kicks and delivers. It's a slider just low and away to Charlie Bates. Bates struck out his first time up. Only his second strikeout over the last 3 ball games, and he's a guy that has struck out a lot this season. 35 in the regular season. Checks his swing on another breaking pitch. That one hits the dirt. Bates ended his regular season on a 7-game hitless streak. Comes into the playoffs with very little momentum, and then finds his swing all of a sudden. 3 for 7 over the first 2 games. 2-0 slider misses. And this is the first time Bowie's really been behind.
It really has been, and Hyannis has to take advantage. But for Bates, taking advantage of what the postseason is. It's literally a new season, a new fresh start.
3-0. Cutter locates the low and away part of the plate. Bowie's been using that cutter and that slider a whole lot against these lefties and has had success with it. 3-1. Goes right back to it, and that one's low in the dirt. Ball 4. 5-pitch walk to start the inning.
And it's going to be interesting to see how fatigue might play into how Bowie's doing. But he's only 57 pitches deep through 4+ innings. Of course, has not recorded an out here in the 5th inning. But Hyannis, that their at-bats gets deeper, they're going to be in a better position to succeed.
He made 5 starts with the Ocean State Waves in the CCBL. So he has pitched recently. Didn't make any starts with Wake Forest in his freshman season. 15 appearances, all of them in relief. So he has gotten some starts under his belt, but still, after making 15 relief appearances, it's a bit of a change to come in and be a starter. Miles Davis takes an off-speed outside for ball 1.
Doesn't look like Bowie's got a great feel for any of his pitches, and I still think that he's going to be sitting dead red on a pitch that's in the zone here, unless it gets to maybe 2 or 3-0.
Check over on Bates, and that's the second pickoff of the ball game for Reese Bowie.
It's a big frustration, a pain point for Mitch Carricker. Hyannis, when they do work a good at-bat, and as you mentioned, the second time that they've been picked off at first, it just kills the momentum going back to what we talked about in the last half inning. And now it's kind of a wipe clean state for Davis.
1-0 count for Davis with 1 out in the top of the 5th. Pitch. Fastball fought off down the first base side, well foul. Ryan McKay was the first Hyannis runner to get picked off over at first. Top of the first inning, had a 2-out single and just got caught sleeping a bit by Bowie. 1-1. Another pitch fought off down the first base side, foul. Miles Davis, a guy that has shown some really promising swings and has looked really, really good in batting practice. He's just trying to bring it to the plate in a real ball game. This is first game of the postseason. 1-2. On the ground to the shortstop, Riker Waite. His throw just beats the base runner, and they're 2 outs in the inning.
Still a routine play, but a pretty play at that, because he had a tough hop, took a weird bounce off the lip of the grass when it exited to the dirt part of the infield. And Riker Waite, it's a game of adjustments, sometimes in only a minuscule instance, and he makes the play right there.
Brings up Brody Briggs for a second time. Briggs grounded out to the third baseman, Braden Holcomb, his first time up, back in the third. First pitch. Inside for ball 1. Brody Briggs saw a healthy amount of sliders and cutters, really nothing else. Bowie really took advantage of that left-on-left matchup. The 1-0. Just low on a cutter. 2-0. Briggs, a tough guy to strike out, even though the hitting numbers haven't quite been there over the course of the season. He leads the team in walks. 2-0 fastball catches the zone for strike 1. He only had 3 walks through his first 9 games. Now sits at 17. Playing in his 23rd ball game of the season with the Harbor Hawks. 2 outs, top of the 5th, 2-1. Another fastball locates, and now Bowie starting to find those pitches again.
And that's a pitch that Brody Briggs does not like from Mike Chukerman. And he says that hasn't been here all tonight. I just saw him, and he's been behind the plate, so he knows the strike zone.
Briggs locks back in. The infield slightly shifted for him to pull. 2-2. Inside on a changeup. This count runs full.
Well, there's a big mislocation. Mark Quattrani set up over the outside part of the plate, had to lunge all the way back to just get a glove on it. Didn't even catch it cleanly. And walks are valuable. Of course, not when you get picked off, but for Briggs, with the 17 walks to just 9 strikeouts, while the batting average hasn't been there, it's still below 200. The on base, well over 300.
Payoff pitch. Briggs on the ground to the third baseman, Holcomb, who botches it on the fielding transfer. And Briggs is over at first base.
Well, not the most cleanly played game on either side, and this is where Hyannis really has to make it hurt, especially after the leadoff walk where they got picked off. It's this part of the order that, with new guys like Garrett Larson for the left-on-right matchup, that's who Mitch Carricker is looking to.
Both teams with 2 errors in this ball game. As Scott Landers comes out of the dugout, is going to go talk to his pitcher, Reese Bowie. Yesterday, the Harbor Hawks had 3 errors. The Bourne Braves had 2. The ball game before, neither team committed an error. So it's kind of been a recent development for both of these teams.
And interesting to see Landers only talking with Quattrani and Reese Bowie. He called off his infield. Usually the entire infield comes in for the coaching too, and he's going to stay in this game. Really towards the postseason, it's when the managers turn pitching coach. Want to hear it from the old skipper.
There is an arm warming up in left field for the Bourne Braves. It looks like it's a righty. Reese Bowie, a lefty himself, has been dealing very, very well to a Hyannis batting order that is majority lefties. Garrett Larson comes up to the plate with 2 outs and Brody Briggs on first. Larson himself a righty. Pitch. Just low and away. Larson grounded out his first time up to the shortstop, Riker Waite. It was only his 6th plate appearance of his Cape League season. 1-0. On the ground to the third baseman, Holcomb fields this one, goes the long way across the diamond, and records the 3rd out. Brody Briggs gets to first base late, but Garrett Larson can't bring him around. Still 3-1 heading into the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th inning, 3-1 ball game, Braves lead as Mitch Carricker goes to the bullpen for a second time, brings in Henry Chabot, a very inflated ERA, has allowed 5 earned runs over 2 innings pitched, and it was really because of his struggles against Falmouth his last time pitching. Only pitched for 2/3, allowed 4 hits and 5 runs, all of them earned. He's trying to come in with a totally new mindset today.
Yeah, and it's keep the damage at where it is, maintain this 3-1 deficit, and get the bats right back in the dugout. And he's looking for that redemption after that Falmouth inning. He was supposed to go a couple innings of long relief and what was already kind of a blowout loss, but then he only went that 2/3, and the ERA inflated from the Commodores hitting him well. And no bigger stage to get back on your horse right here in a must-win Game 3 that decides that they're going to move on to the division finals.
Chabot, the 3rd straight righty for Mitch Carricker, pitching in this ball game. 5 of the 9 in the Bourne lineup are righties. So Carricker going for that matchup a little bit. Chabot going to face off against Cade Lewis, Braden Holcomb, and Riker Waite. Those 3 have really found their strides in this ball game.
And a notable omission, of course, from yesterday's game in Lewis and Holcomb serving the 1-game suspension as well as Brody Briggs. Bourne was able to come back and get that win. Tonight they have the assets right here. Of course, Hyannis with Briggs as well. And it's been tough for Mitch Carricker to navigate.
First baseman number 23,
Cade Lewis on a 6-game hit streak, a 9-game on-base streak. Went 1 for 4 in Game 1 of this series. Walked and struck out 2 times. In the regular season, Lewis had the 11th most hits in the Cape League with 36. Chabot kicks and fires. Fastball up and away for ball 1. Chabot, rising senior, transferring to USC from Chapman. Southern California kid through and through. 1-0. Another fastball in a very similar spot.
These are the first times that these Braves are facing Chabot as well. Still think that he's got the green light here behind 2-0, but as you mentioned, the same spot looks like a mechanical issue.
2-0. That time locates with the heater. Chabot, a fastball, a slider, a curve, and a changeup. Relies heavily on that slider, but just trying to establish the zone right now with the fastball. Now that he has, we'll see a curveball. It's outside.
Eddie Copper largely avoided 3-ball counts, and that's one of the reasons why he was successful outside of that 3rd inning when the Braves just hit him.
3-1. Fastball sent to left field. Garrett Larson in the area for out number 1.
Well, that was good win for Cade Lewis, but hit to the right spot with Larson ranging into the gap. And that's what the pitcher needs for some confidence. Of course, that Falmouth inning started with a leadoff knock, and that's what really allowed it to snowball on him, even though he got the hard contact. Getting the outs big.
Brings up the right-hander, Braden Holcomb. 1 for 2 on the day, but he's reached first base twice. Got to first in the 1st inning because Eddie Copper committed an error on the mound. Tried to field his position and just couldn't quite make the transfer. Takes a changeup inside for ball 1. Holcomb on a 10-game on-base streak. He's hitting 12 for 35 over that stretch. That's a .343 batting average. 1-0. Catches the lower out inside corner for strike 1. Chabot starting to find a bit more confidence now.
Yeah, and he had him off balance there. That was the breaking ball. And Holcomb was kind of selling it for the fastball, and by the time he checked his swing, it was already a called strike.
1-1. Fastball gets him swinging. He just got a piece of it. Foul tipped it into the glove of Briggs. So he's got a 1-2 count with 1 out.
That's a great tunnel right there because he started the breaking ball to pitch prior in that same spot. Fastball tops out at 94, so not anything that he hasn't seen. But if you play it off that breaking ball, it looks a lot firmer.
1-2. Broken bat to right field. No Harbor Hawk can get there.
But if you play it off that breaking ball, it looks a lot firmer.
1-2. Broken bat to right field. No Harbor Hawk can get there. Braden Holcomb with a one-out single. Just an unfortunate break for Chabot.
I think it's my catchphrase, but that is just what baseball is sometimes. You beat the hitter through and through. The first at-bat of the inning, K. Lewis smokes one to the left center field alleyway. There's an out. Then the broken bat single, little flare down the right field side. And that one's the hit? Yeah, okay.
Braden Holcomb, now 2 for 3 on the day. 2 singles coming back-to-back. Sets up Riker Waite, arguably the best hitter on this baseball team. But he struggled against Hyannis in the postseason. First pitch. Fastball catches the outside corner. Waite, 1 for 6 coming into this ball game with 3 RBIs. He still managed to make an impact despite not really getting on base. Check over on the base runner. Holcomb's safe. He has walked twice. But Waite really had a tough end to his regular season. Was on a 5-game hitless streak before a 1 for 2 performance yesterday. 0-1 fastball laced into center field, but just a little bit underneath it. Owen Prince, the center fielder, makes the catch. 2 outs in the inning. Braden Holcomb held up at first base.
And now batting from Cincinnati, right fielder number 5, Cal Sefcik.
Chabot may only be in for 1 inning. Justin Minneberry was only up pitching for 1 inning before him, but getting a clean inning is so valuable at this point in the ball game for Hyannis.
This is where you keep the torch lit after Minneberry's frame as well.
Sefcik puts a pitch on the ground. Miles Davis bobbles it, goes to second, and just gets the out in time. Braden Holcomb with a single. No other Bourne Braves can do damage. 3-1 heading to the top of the 6th.
Owning a home means you can protect your family and put down roots in a community you care about. It gives you a place to celebrate the joys of daily living and be together during tough times. But for many on Cape Cod, home ownership is slipping further out of reach. Help make sure the American dream is available to the teachers, public safety professionals, and all the other people who make the Cape a special place. Visit capehousingmatters.org to find out more.
Top of the 6th inning, 3-1 ball game. The Braves leading the Hyannis Harbor Hawks as Bourne makes its first trip to the bullpen, bringing in Packy Bradley Cooney, making his 6th appearance of the Cape League season as a 4-flat ERA. Has pitched 9 innings, allowed 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. 2 home runs have really been the issue for Packy. He's also walked 2, struck out 14, so the strikeout number's there, but as are the big hits. He ends the day for Reese Bowie, who gave a phenomenal start for these Braves.
5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was not earned. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. If Scott Landers knew he was going to get that from his starter, he would take that 10 times out of 10, and he gives them an opportunity to win, but now it's to the bullpens for the later innings.
Bradley Cooney going to face Owen Prince, Jace Dobby, Ryan McKay, 1, 2, 3 in this batting order. McKay, the only Harbor Hawk to get a hit off of Reese Bowie. He got 2. A ripped single into the outfield and then a bunt perfectly played down the third base line back in the 4th inning. And besides McKay's 2 singles, the only ones to get on base, Brody Briggs, who got on base via an error, Charlie Bates, who got walked, and then Owen Prince, who also got walked to lead off the 4th inning. But notably, the Harbor Hawks have gotten their leadoff hitters on base in back-to-back innings. The Hawks didn't get any leadoff hitters on base in Game 2 of this 3-game series.
Now batting from Virginia.
And pretty immediately, it leads to a run for the Harbor Hawks as Owen Prince came home after that leadoff walk in the top of the fourth. Bradley Cooney fires. Fastball up in the zone. Prince 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out his first time up. Then drew that walk back in the fourth. 1-0. Fastball low and in for ball 2. Prince working a 4-game hit streak and now a 5-game on-base streak. He has kind of just gotten hot at the right time.
And it's exactly what you needed at the top of the order with speed. We saw it on display back in the fourth inning.
2-0. Drifts outside, another heater, 3-0.
This is probably going to be an automatic take. It's a new arm out of the pen. He throws 3 consecutive balls. All you need is a base runner just to put the tying run at the plate with Dobby on deck. Probably going to take here.
3-0. Upstairs, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to lead off the inning. Now the 3rd time in a row that Hyannis has gotten its leadoff hitter aboard.
And of course, last time Hyannis shot itself in the foot with that unfortunate caught the pickoff at first base, the second one of the game. I believe they're probably going to be a little bit more careful here, especially when they got so much value on first base in Prince.
Fortunately for the Harbor Hawks, Bradley Cooney a righty. Bowie was a lefty, so we had a clear look at first base. Jace Dobby takes a breaking pitch upstairs for ball 1.
5 consecutive balls to open up the frame. Dobby probably going to be taken until he gets a strike. Bradley Cooney going to have to prove it that he can put it in the zone.
1-0. That time, right down the heart of the plate. Dobby 0 for 1 today. A sac fly back in the fourth that brought home Owen Prince. Prince was able to get to third base because of an error on Reese Bowie, the pitcher. 1-1, wipeout slider gets Dobby swinging.
Dobby's eyes got a little bit big, and that's a really nice pitch after that first pitch strike right that was in there, because that was also a breaking ball, but this time he gets a lot more lateral movement. It starts it on the outside part of the plate, so it looks like it's going to be good, and then it's down and away.
Prince hasn't made a jump for second yet. He won't here. Ground ball up the left side. Riker Waite against the grain makes a long throw, and the first baseman, Cade Lewis, can't make the pick. Both runners are safe with no outs in the inning.
Well, it's just that part of the field, that deep gap up the shortstop way. Really, the only play he had was first base. And I believe if he was able to glove it at first base, Cade Lewis, that probably would have been an out, but that'll probably be a single nonetheless.
Dobby, only the second Harbor Hawk in this ball game to get a single. Before him, right there, the 2 singles belong to Ryan McKay, who's standing in the lefty's box. McKay takes a fastball on the low outside corner for strike 1. The Hawks have the tying run over at first base in Jace Dobby. Bradley Cooney delivers. McKay pops one up on the infield. First baseman Cade Lewis makes the catch.
Late infield fly call because it went so deep into foul territory, but that's a tough out for the Harbor Hawks right there. They're really looking to, at the very least, move both runners in the scoring position with less than 2 outs.
Fortunately for the Harbor Hawks, they've now got their big hitter up in Dayton LaChance. LaChance flew out to deep center field his first time up, popped out to the second baseman Ryan Cooney most recently. But he's been on the baseball just a little bit underneath it.
And if there's ever a time that the Braves in a tough situation would pitch around a guy, it might be here. But it's probably going to be more selective pitching. Really try to execute. And if you walk him, you walk him, because you don't want to leave it over the fat part of the plate.
First pitch. Breaking ball. Catches the low part of the zone for strike 1. Dayton LaChance over the season-long series, batting .455 against the Bourne Braves with 5 doubles, 6 RBIs. And he's crossed home plate 6 times himself. 3-1 ball game. And a check over on Owen Prince at second. Prince well safe. It was a half-hearted attempt from Bradley Cooney. For the first time in this ball game, the Hawks have 2 on base in the same inning. LaChance trying to take advantage. Prince dancing. 0-1. Fly it on the infield again. The first baseman, Cade Lewis, makes the catch on another infield fly.
That's really tough for Mitch Carricker, especially because that was the guy you wanted up to at least try to get something in the gap.
And how about the response from Bradley Cooney? After that walk-in single, he has really honed in on the zone.
And that's why the Braves go to a guy like this, because when he does face some adversity, he's calm, cool, and collected.
He's got the righty Devin Mitchell at the plate. Mitchell playing in right in this ball game. 0 for 2. Prince dancing, and a very late check from Bradley Cooney. If he snapped through that, he might have had him.
Well, Ryan Cooney was a little bit late to get to the bag, so we kind of had to go all or nothing, but just with the lob. But this is what Prince needs to do. Just get in the head of the pitcher and take any emphasis off of the batter that he can, because then he might get lazy and leave one over the plate.
First pitch to Mitchell. Wipeout slider. Mitchell swings right through it. Something that all of these Hyannis bats have struggled with in this ball game. That pitch has really gotten to Hyannis. A 1. Goes back to the breaking ball. That time Mitchell spits on it.
That's emerged as the pitch that Bradley Cooney is comfortable with, especially when trying to bring it to a 2-strike count. Didn't execute right there, but if he's feeling good with it, he might go right back to it, but this time in the strike zone.
Mitchell 1 for 7 coming into this ball game against the Braves. Right back to the pitch. It's popped up weakly down the third base side. In foul territory, Braden Holcomb makes the catch and strands 2 on the bases. The Braves still with a 3-1 lead.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind the scenes has like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails of doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Tonight with Pino.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Doran Park. A 3-1 Braves lead over the Harbor Hawks in this decisive Game 3 of the first round of the Cape League playoffs. Henry Chabot up for his second inning of work, going to face Sebastian Mexico, Mark Quattrani, and Ryan Cooney. Chabot faced one above the minimum his first inning of work. Braden Holcomb ripped a single, and then after that he took care of business, and it was a rocky start for Henry Chabot, but he locked in pretty quick.
And it was the tough first couple balls to the leadoff hitter, Cade Lewis. Those fastballs weren't working up and away. Then he goes to the breaking ball and he starts really feeling it with the slider. And then once he finds that comfortability, got to get on the third try, that's when he can reintroduce the heater, and it works out.
Sebastian Mexico 0 for 1 on the ball game. Had a sac fly back in the third and then a ground out in the second. He has been a phenomenal late addition for these Bourne Braves. Coming over from the Valley Blue Sox of the NECBL, where he was an NECBL All-Star. Chabot kicks and fires. High fastball gets Sebastian Mexico to swing through. Mexico working a 21-game on-base streak that stretches back to his time in the NECBL. 0-1. Fastball hit right up the middle and past Charlie Bates into shallow left field. Garrett Larson Sends it back into the infield. It's a leadoff single for Sebastian Mexico.
Well, that's a really pretty swing, taking the fastball where it's pitched, not trying to pull it, and just going the opposite field, and that is what really good hitters do, and that's what Scott Landers needs out of this bottom quarter of the lineup, a part of the order that outside of John LeGrande has been quite quiet.
Mexico, the second leadoff batter in this ballgame for the Braves to get a hit. The first was John LeGrande, who doubled back in the third. That's the inning where the Braves got all of its 3 runs. Mark Cotrani comes up for his third plate appearance, 0 for 2 on the day with 2 ground balls. Shows bunt immediately, pulls it back on a breaking ball, taken for ball 1. It's not the first time we've seen this from either side. Both teams have really done a good job playing small ball in this series.
Not a bad idea at all, especially with this part of the order that's been struggling outside of the guy in the hole LeGrande.
Cotrani shows bunt immediately again, 1-0. Breaking pitch misses up and in for ball 2.
Might just keep showing bunt and then pulling it back until he gets a strike at this rate. But nice execution from Chabot. Try to go in the front door breaking pitch, just to no avail. A little bit in.
Check over on Mexico. He's in safely. Mexico not necessarily a threat to steal. Only stole 1 base with the Valley Blue Sox in the NECBL. It was his only attempt as well. Chabot kicks and fires, a shown bunt pulled back. Catches the inside of the zone for strike 1.
Well, Cotrani didn't love the call from the home plate umpire, Mike Chukerman. A similar location to the miss before, but that was with the breaking ball. There he gets the call on the fastball.
Two 2-1. No bunt shown this time, and the breaking ball finds the heart of the plate. Really good fight from Chabot.
Really nice, and it's good to see him comfortable to go back to the inside part. Sometimes that front door slider is tough to execute because of the righty so close to the plate, but clearly not the case for the incoming Trojan.
2-2 hits Cotrani. A breaking ball catches him on his lead leg. That's going to send Mexico to second. And with no outs on the inning, they're 2 on.
Maybe one of the most profound cases of the announcer jinx, because it was that breaking pitch inside. But are they saying it hit the bat?
So Scott Landers is out of the dugout talking to home plate umpire Mike Chukerman, but Chukerman sent Sebastian Mexico over to second.
Not sure what's going on here, but yeah, as mentioned, he's on second base now. It didn't sound like the bat to me, at least.
Didn't to me either.
But Cotrani's still standing by the plate, so umpires are going to get together.
Umpires are meeting. Mexico was sent over to second base, and he's standing there pretty confidently right now. But as you mentioned, Cotrani's still swinging the bat just on the infield grass behind home plate.
This is a really big base runner, because then it gets to Ryan Cooney with the opportunity with LeGrande in the hole at the present moment. And the Braves, well, they've had a couple big swings. They're just still looking for that big knock.
The Braves have been finding it with runners in scoring position. And it's called a balk.
So that's why, so he did get hit by the pitch, but he balked before. But I guess what Scott Landers, you can't really argue that, because the advantage of it not being called a balk is then you got 2 on and nobody away instead of runner on second and still the guy at the plate.
Umpires are going to come apart. We've got a decision. And the original decision of a balk is held. So Mexico is over at second. Still fortunate for the Braves because it takes away that potential double play ball. It's a 2-2 count. Chukerman, the home plate umpire, now talking to Brody Briggs. And it should be a 3-2 count. The scoreboard.
That's what Hyannis is trying to say.
Yeah, the scoreboard out in center field shows 2-2. And now the umpires going to come together for a second time shortly.
Well, if it's a balk, the pitch did not count, clearly, as we saw, because it hit him.
And now manager Mitch Carricker out of the dugout. Mitch Carricker, not someone to really argue too much, but he feels adamant that the count should be different than what is being said.
Well, the umpire usually has a clicker in his back pocket.
And it's 2-2. The Braves not very happy about the decision. But Chukerman says 2-2. And Catrani, after a long break, takes a deep breath before stepping back into the righty's box. No outs in the bottom of the sixth. It's a 3-1 ball game. The Braves leading the Harbor Hawks. Sebastian Mexico over at second after a Henry Chabot balk. Two-two. Catrani, broken bat to left field, and it's down over the head of Charlie Bates. Mexico is held up at third, and Catrani gets his trip to first base.
Well, it all seems to work out for the Braves here. And Charlie Bates did everything he can, but it was just that ball in no man's land. Another broken bat, so he beat the hitter at the plate, but baseball is sometimes unforgiving.
And now manager Mitch Carricker coming up to the mound to talk to Henry Chabot. And it looks like he's going to be making a pitching change. 2 on, nobody out in the bottom of the sixth. We'll introduce the new pitcher when we come back.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
New pitcher in the bottom of the sixth inning, a 3-1 ball game. The Braves over the Harbor Hawks. And Sam Gerwal. Gerwal pitching for his second time in this postseason series. The first time, game one, here at Doran Park 2 days ago. Was credited with a bullpen hold. Over 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He walked 1, and he struck out 3. Over the season, Gerwal has accumulated a 3.24 ERA over 8 1/3 pitch. This is his 7th appearance. He's walked 8, struck out 13. Those walk numbers, really what's plagued him, and kind of a tough position to come into when walking has kind of been your issue.
And he was nice against these Braves back here at Doran Park a couple days ago. And yeah, when he's in the strike zone, he could be as dominant. The sky's the ceiling. But when he's not, that's when it really starts to compound and snowball on him.
Gerwal has found the zone around 64% of the time this season. In the postseason, that only being 1 game, it was 63% of the time against these Bourne Braves. Dealt 35 pitches, 22 of them were strikes. He's going to begin his appearance against Ryan Cooney with Sebastian Mexico at third and Mark Catrani over at first base. Mexico with a leadoff single, then advanced to second on a Henry Chabot balk. Catrani with his single just got Mexico over to third. He got held up. It was a broken bat bloop into left center field. Cooney 0 for 2 on the day with a backwards K coming in the second inning. Gerwal is going to check over on the base runner at first before coming home. Catrani has not attempted to steal a base yet this season for the Bourne Braves, although he is relatively new, only playing in his 13th game of the season with the Braves. Bunt put down the first base line, but foul.
Kind of a safety squeeze right there. Run around third. Mexico was not coming home on the pitch. It's a lot of small ball executed by Scott Landers. And again, once you get it to the bottom of the lineup with John Legrande and then the top of the order, those are the hot bats. But here you want to just do anything you can to get some action on the base pass.
Legrande has been hot. 1 for 1. That one hit a double, and he also got hit by a pitch. 0-1. Another bunt shown, pulled back, and it's outside. Mexico had to scurry back to third base. He was cheating pretty hard.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see a bunt and run. Of course, not with the guy on third, but the guy on first. And Quattrani, because then it would take off the table the opportunity, the corners steaming in.
1-1, bunt shown. Popped on the first base line, foul again.
He's probably going to have to swing it here. Only one double play grounded into, and this is game 30 for Ryan Cooney. But it's been a struggle this summer here in Bourne for the right-hander.
Cooney 0 for his last 11 against these Harbor Hawks. 6 strikeouts over the course of the past 3 games as well. No outs in the bottom of the 6th, 3-1, runners at the corners. 1-2, fouled straight back, and that time Cooney did have to go swinging.
Kind of a delayed swing too. Honestly, really surprised he was able to make contact because he was so late on it. We saw a lot of that wipeout slider from Gerwa. Only one changeup last time out against these Braves. But it was the slider, particularly left on left. Of course, Legrande waiting on deck, the lefty. Does Gerwal execute it here? We'll see.
Gerwal, the first lefty that manager Mitch Carricker has put up on the mound against these Braves in this ball game. The 1-2. Sent down the first base line, foul. That time Cooney got a lot more of the pitch.
Just laid on it, but he got the barrel right there. And Gerwal staying pretty specifically to the outside part of the plate here.
Runners on first and third in the bottom of the 6th with no outs. 3-1 lead for the Braves. And Cooney right underneath another breaking ball. Count stays at 1-2. Gerwal, this is his 3rd appearance against the Bourne Braves. And his 3rd appearance over the course of about a week. One, two. Down in the dirt for ball 2. That's the first pitch that we've really seen Gerwal try to go low with. It's all been kind of middling up.
Yeah, you could see Briggs before that pitch patting the ground, telling him, get it down. I got you. If it's in the dirt, I'll block it. Putting a lot of trust in his backstop, as he should.
Fastball slider change for Sam Gerwal. 2-2. Fouled straight up and back. Nearly catches one of the lights. Cooney just playing some defense right now.
And you got to love this at-bat. It's a battle up there. This is going to be the 9th pitch here. And I said it a lot this season, but the more pitches he sees at the plate, despite having a tough season, the better advantage he's going to have in the batter's box.
Cooney trying to end a 2-game hitless streak. 2-2. Upstairs, a fastball. Can't locate. Count runs full.
That's a big league take right there. You could see him get the hips started, but he's able to keep the hands back. The fastballs upstairs look so good to hitters at the plate because it's by the eye level, as it should, but it's just too high.
Hyannis pitching has only walked 1 in this ball game. 2 on, nobody out. Payoff pitch. Slider swung on and missed. Gerwal with a big response gets the first out of the inning.
And now Harbor Hawks 1 pitch away of getting out of this jam. A hard-fought strikeout from Gerwal, and the difference was in that at-bat. He was in the strike zone all throughout it. This guy's really turned it on the last couple of weeks on the hill.
Now Gerwal with a favorable left-on-left matchup as John Legrande steps into the lefty's box. However, the way that Legrande's been hitting as of late probably doesn't feel like a favorable matchup. Roped a double back in the 3rd and got hit by a pitch most recently in the 4th. Legrande shows bunt, pulls it back on a breaking pitch that dives low in the dirt for ball 1. Legrande came into the postseason with the 6th most hits in the Cape League with 38, the 4th most doubles with 8. Check over on the base runner at first, and the tag late. Mark Quattrani slides in safely. Legrande struggled in his first game against the Harbor Hawks, but then got right back to his old ways. 3 for 5 in game 2. 1 for 1 tonight. 1-0. Pulls back bunt again. Had to get his back foot out of the way of that pitch as well.
Game 39 for LeGrande for these Bravos. Second on the team and 4 grounded into double plays. But if he's going to do it, he's going to have to hit it hard because he's got some speed. And Hyannis will have to work efficiently on the infield.
And a pitch clock violation on John LeGrande. That's going to be strike 1. So 2-1 count for LeGrande. Brody Briggs behind home plate was pointing rapidly and angrily at the pitch clock. 1 out, runners on the corners. 3-1 ball game, 2-1 pitch. LeGrande pulls back, bunt on a breaking ball, and it just catches at the knees.
Really nicely placed from Gerwal. That's a part of the zone that's hard to bunt. Of course, the top of the zone, that's where you pop it up. But the bottom of the zone, it's also difficult to get it down fair.
LeGrande has choked well up on his bat. 2-2. Taken down in the dirt on another slider. Count runs full for a second straight time.
And we might see some motion from Cutrani. Of course, not binded to that because there's less than 2 outs, but just to try to stay out of that potential double play ball and put trust that LeGrande won't K up.
Full count pitch. Popped up straight behind home plate. A chance for Briggs, but he slips and it goes out of the park anyway. LeGrande lives to see another day. At the 5th pitch of the at-bat, if nothing else. LeGrande doing a good job right now of increasing Gerwal's pitch count.
And he threw 35 pitches 2 days ago against these Braves, so it's already been up there.
The 3-2. Check swing, he's rung up anyway. Fastball pinpointed at the knees. Back-to-back Ks for Gerwal in a big spot.
This guy's got ice in his veins, and that is a perfectly executed spot. It's do or die right there. Low and outside corner, because if you spike it, it's a wild pitch. A run comes in to score. If you miss, at the worst, it's just a bases-loaded walk then.
Flips the order for Gavin Kelly with 2 outs in the inning. Runners on first and third. Braves still lead 3-1. Gerwal comes home. The pitch catches on the inside corner for strike 1. Gerwal starting to mix up his pitches really well now. We've seen the slider and fastball a lot. Really yet to see the changeup, but we might see it here. 0-1. Another breaking ball upstairs for ball 1. Gavin Kelly has struggled in this ball game, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. He's gotten hits in both of his last 2. He's working a 9-game hit streak, 12-game on-base streak. With 2 outs, the 1-1. Fastball fouled down the first base line. Gerwal 1 strike away from ending the inning.
He's constantly put himself in advantage counts. And even when the Braves have worked the at-bat, he has stayed dialed in on the mound.
He's gotten at least 1 strikeout in every appearance this season for the Hawks. Trying to strike out the side. 1-2. Fouled straight back. Kelly, LeGrande, and Cooney all battling hard against Sam Gerwal. But Gerwal has gotten the best of 2 of the 3 so far. One, 2. Pulled down the third base line, and it stays fair. That brings home Sebastian Mexico. Quatrani's going to third. He's getting the wave around third. Quatrani is going to come in to score. The throw at third base off the plate. It's a 2 RBI triple for Gavin Kelly, and the Braves take a 5-1 lead.
Great pitching, even better hitting. That is not an easy ball to keep fair. That was probably down and out of the strike zone. He golfed it down the third base line, just out of the reach of Davis. If you're Gerwal, it's frustrating, but you did everything you could in that at-bat.
Cade Lewis has a chance to make it a 5-run difference in the bottom of the 6th, as Gavin Kelly's just 90 feet away. There are 2 outs in the inning. Gerwal delivers a first pitch slider, low and away for ball 1. With one swing of the bat, Gavin Kelly has a 10-game on-base or hit streak going, 13-game on-base streak going. Lewis grounds one at the second baseman, Ryan McKay, who flips it over to Jace Dobby to end the inning. But Gavin Kelly, with a 2 RBI triple, makes it 5-1 Braves heading into the top of the 7th, where Max Schwartzberg is going to take you the rest of the way.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. It's a no-brainer for every player.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Top of the 7th inning here at Bourne Park. And Hyannis going to have some work cut out for them. A 2-run bottom of the 6th inning, and now they have a 5-1 deficit. Max Schwartzberg joined by Giovanni Collada here to take you home from Bourne Park in this deciding Game 3 of the Western Division Series. Hyannis and Bourne knotted at 1. Harbor Hawks took Game 1 here at Bourne Park. Bourne won at McKeon Park last night. Now Hyannis and Bourne, quite simply, Gio, fighting for their lives right here for the deciding factor.
And the Braves have shown more urgency thus far, but make no mistake that this is not an insurmountable deficit for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Only 4 runs, and we've seen them conjure up runs quickly, especially yesterday. They scored 3 runs in an inning, surged out to a 4-0 lead. It's certainly doable, and this is the part of the order that's going to have the onus upon it to start that.
Charlie Bates going to lead it off for Mitch Carricker, and this is the part that you really just need a base runner anywhere you can. Bates worked a walk back in the 5th inning as Packy Bradley Cooney is back out there, but he was the second Harbor Hawk to get picked off at first base of the night. And he fouls the first pitch off of his front foot, painfully so. And he hobbles off to the right side to just walk it off.
Well, Bates, a guy that's so tough, staying here since day 1. He's endured multiple difficult stretches this season. Kind of comes into this game off the heels of one. Of course, ending this hitless streak with 2 hits here at Bourne Park and then another 2 yesterday. And so for a guy like Charlie Bates, you really want to have him at 100%, but he's going to fight through it in any way he can.
Only 2 day 1 Harbor Hawks in the starting 9 for Mitch Carricker. Ryan McKay and Charlie Bates. As Bates looks to be okay. The Cape League season is just kind of a marathon. This is game 33 for Bates. He played 25 his freshman season at Stanford. Palo Alto kid through and through. The Harbor Hawks down 5-1 here in the top of the 7th at Bourne Park. Starter Reese Bowie went the first 5. Packy Bradley Cooney went the 6th. And now working in the 7th. The 0-1 is a fastball on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to Bates.
Can't be overstated how much of an asset it is to have a guy like Charlie Bates, to have Ryan McKay, to have Jake Schaffner not in the lineup tonight, still here throughout the entire season.
0-2 out of the windup. The pitch misses up and away.
Not necessarily because you want to have guys here throughout the length of the season, although that is something that every team hopes for on Cape Cod. The fact that it's those 3 guys is doubly impressive because you got an all-star in McKay and a de facto all-star in Jake Schaffner as well, along with a very effective hitter in Bates.
On a 1-2, Bates grounds one right side, charged by Ryan Cooney, throws on the run, and in plenty of time for the first out of the 7th inning.
Well, Packy Bradley Cooney really struggled in relief of Reese Bowie after 5 strong innings from the lefty starter. The righty went walk single in the 6th, pop out, pop out, pop out, and now a ground out, and he's commanded the zone in all 4 batters he's retired.
Well, Jake Schaffner going to pinch hit for Miles Davis, who was 0 for 2 out of the 7th spot of the order for Mitch Carricker. A strikeout his first time out, and then a ground out. So Schaffner, kind of a notable omission of the starting lineup. And the first pitch, breaking ball, misses away, a ball and no strikes.
And we heard Mitch Carricker say pregame that, as you touched on, he's exploiting the matchup with a lefty starter and Reese Bowie by adding Davis and Garrett Larson. And now Schaffner will look to bring him home with 9 outs to go.
Game 30 for Schaffner tonight, and he swings through a wipeout breaking ball. Count level at 1. 1 out in the inning, nobody on. 5-1 Bravos over the Harbor Hawks. Schaffner missed 8 games in the middle of the season with that wrist injury after being hit by a pitch in Falmouth, but he jumped right back on the horse and has been so valuable. And he ropes the 1-1 into right field, a base hit by the dive of both Cade Lewis and Ryan Cooney, and a 1-out single for Schaffner.
That's exactly why you pinch hit for all reliable in Jake Schaffner. Plug-and-play guy. He's done anything and everything for Mitch Carricker, including choke up on the bat in situations like that. Not necessarily a count where he struggled all too much outside of a swing and a miss, but to have that piece of hitting, yeah, with 1 out, but also for a guy like Brody Briggs coming up to the plate, it's super valuable.
The 4th hit of the game for the Harbor Hawks. Braves doubling them up in that category with 8. As Gabe Camacho has come out on deck, he would pinch hit for Garrett Larson. As Brody Briggs takes the first pitch, heater at the knees, 0-1. And on the theme of guys who've been here since day one, Brody Briggs also a day one guy, but he was not in that starting lineup on June 14th against Wareham. Von Lackey got the start. He only played 6 games for the Harbor Hawks this summer, but Brody Briggs has emerged as the everyday guy. Schaffner on first. The 0-1 offering is swung through. No balls in, 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting catcher.
And you'd look at Briggs' batting average in isolation at 143 and say, well, he's not making much of an impact. But team-leading 17 walks, including each of his last 3 games coming into the postseason, it's helped him have a very good start to the playoffs.
A man on with 1 out. 5-1 Braves over Harbor Hawks here in the top of the 7th. 0-2 is foul off to the left, out of play. Brody Briggs buys another pitch. And while you mentioned the 143 average, with all those walks, the on-base still over 350, so he's still providing value. And, of course, there's nothing – you can't put a price on what he's done behind the plate. Not only has he got to know all these pitchers, but he's also thrown out a plethora of runners and has been really a 2-sided player through and through. Schaffner on first. The 0-2. Spit down low in the dirt on the breaking ball. A ball and 2 strikes to Briggs.
And that's what makes him, frankly, irreplaceable add to the lineup at this rate. His defense has been more than solid for Mitch Carricker, arguably the best defensive catcher on the roster right now. And if he can get going with the bat, yeah, you'll know he'll work walks with the eye, but he can be doubly dangerous.
On a 1-2 pitch, Briggs swings and misses, strike 3. Back foot slider from Packy Bradley Cooney. And a strikeout. His first of the relief appearance is out number 2 here in the 7th.
Just a really good job by Packy Bradley Cooney to tunnel a fastball that worked well for him in that at-bat, as it did to Jake Schaffner, and fool Brody Briggs low and away. Chases it, trying to bring Schaffner across, and now a powerful bat up next.
That is just the 3rd strikeout of the entire day for the Harbor Hawks. As mentioned, Gabe Camacho pinch hitting for Garrett Larson. Camacho played last night against the Braves, but he did not play the first game of this 3-game set here at Doran Park a few days ago. Last night, 10 strikeouts at the plate for Hyannis, only 3 on the Game 1 win a couple nights ago here at Doran Park. And back to the low stuff in that category as Camacho takes the first pitch, breaking ball on the outside corner, 0-1. 5-1 Braves over the Harbor Hawks here in the top of the 7th. 2 down, and Schaffner aboard at first. 0-1 the count. Bradley Cooney kicks and fires. Camacho swings, skies it a mile to the right side. That'll kick out of play. And an 0-2 advantage for the pitcher on the hill.
No surprise to see Mitch Carricker empty the bench across the next inning and an out, or 2 innings and 1 out. So it'd be very surprising to not see guys like Parker Brocious and Jeff Luigi, both of whom still available, get into this game at some point, because it's now or never for Hyannis.
Man on first with 2 down. On an 0-2 pitch, Camacho takes a little bit outside. Try to go backdoor with the breaking ball, but Camacho thought better of it. A ball and 2 strikes.
It's a big league take from the lefty. Very close, a razor-thin margin to the outer corner of the plate, and he stays alive.
Hyannis has left at least 1 on base in each of the last 3 innings as Camacho cleans 1 out, foul down the first base line. We'll do it again at 1-2.
Camacho's still looking for that big hit. He's put a couple of hard swings on balls, multiple balls hit 100 miles an hour off the bat, and doesn't have to be a home run either. Any big situation where he gets a hit like this one will work wonders for him.
Bradley Cooney comes set. Righty comes home. Camacho takes down low, went back to another off-speed pitch, and the count level at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs in the inning.
Even a walk right now would be phenomenal for Hyannis, just to get guys going against Packy Bradley Cooney, who's been money since relieving for Reese Bowie.
5-1 Braves here in the visiting half of the 7th as Bradley Cooney spins off the mound and disengages. Camacho was 1 for 4 last night against these Braves. And in his first look here in the 7th, 2-2, he strikes out swinging. Wipeout slider as Hyannis leaves another one on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th inning with a 5-1 Braves lead.
When it comes to delicious food, the best place to start is with great appliances. And Cam Appliances is your one-stop shop for any budget with brands like Thermador, Viking, Bosch, GE, and so much more. Cam Appliances, sales, delivery, installation, and service in the heart of your home with locations in Hyannis, Nantucket, and Hanover.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Well, it's getting late here at Doran Park in the bottom of the 7th inning. Braves on top of the Harbor Hawks 5-1 and a deciding Game 3 of the Western Division Series. Sam Garewell going back out for another inning of work. He was oh so close to stranding a big jam after coming in for Henry Chabot. Got back-to-back punch-outs of Ryan Cooney and John LeGrande before Gavin Kelly deposited a 2-run triple down the left field line. And the Braves took a 5-1 advantage in the 6th inning. And now in the 7th, Braden Holcomb, Riker Waite, and Cal Sefcik. It's 3-4-5 due up for Scott Landers. Sebastian Mexico, a chance if anybody gets on base, but this is the first lefty Garewell on the hill that these Bravos are seeing tonight. So Mitch Carricker still trying to switch it up, especially as you get to the middle of the order.
And he's going to one of his high leverage lefties as well. Garewell already's got himself a bullpen hold in this series, and while he was tagged for a pair of runs in the 6th that could prove to be very decisive as Bourne tries to salt away these final 9 outs en route to the division finals, make no mistake that Garewell will try to confuse him in any way possible. He's done a very good job tunneling his breaking balls so far.
Bourne has bounced Hyannis from the postseason in each of the last 4 Cape League summers. Braden Holcomb to lead it off here in the bottom of the 7th. Lefty on ready. Garewell comes home and a bunt shown, and he goes around on the attempt. 0-1. Had his mind set on a push bunt with the lefty coming down, falling off towards the third base side, so that first base line wide open. Holcomb, a Vanderbilt guy. So is the guy on deck, Riker Waite. Singles in each of his last 2 at-bats. He scored a run in this game. He's reached all 3 times because He made it to first on an E1 back in the first inning. Eddie Copper, the starter for Hyannis, committed another error, 1 of 3 in this game. And a ground ball right side. McKay to the backhand. It's off his glove, picks it up. Now he throws to first. It's low. Camacho digs it out, but it's not in time. Holcomb reaches.
Tough slide for Ryan McKay off an end of the bat flare from Braden Holcomb. We'll see the ruling here, but Camacho with a very good effort after a nice recovery from Ryan McKay as he makes the slide, has to field with the backhand, and then shuffles with the transfer. And so we'll see who gets tagged for here, and indeed it's a single for Braden Holcomb. That was a very difficult play over at second.
Well, a lot of defensive switches with the 2 pinch hitters in the top of the inning. Jake Schaffner at third base. Jace Dobby moves from first base to left field, and Gabe Camacho in at first. Riker Waite, the switch hitter, batting left-handed against the lefty Gerwal because he suffered a thumb injury. So second consecutive night he's going left on left. He shows the bunt on the first pitch and fouls it down the third base line. No balls and a strike.
Certainly an adverse situation for Riker Waite, but he was able to make do with it yesterday. Went 1 for 2 with a couple of walks and a single. And while he's pigeonholed into batting from the left side, we've seen Hyannis batters do very well against left-handed pitching this year, but Bourne has not been accustomed to the same success. The worst left-on-left team on Cape Cod.
They give Braden Holcomb a single to lead off the inning. 1 on, nobody out. The 0-1 breaking ball bends in for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Waite.
It's a really good hanging breaking ball from Sam Gerwal. Locates it probably right in the sweet spot for Waite, but if he finds that location better, he could really use that pitch.
Holcomb on first. The 0-2 offering. There's a fastball on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Pinpoint accuracy for Sam Gerwal, his 3rd strikeout of the relief appearance.
And a beautiful location from Sam Gerwal on the outside corner. So tough for a left-handed hitter to square up a fastball on that outer corner like he threw, but much less a breaking ball. Anything to that side is going to be difficult, and as out comes Mitch Carricker, that could, oddly enough, be the day for Sam Gerwal.
Well, Cal Sefcik coming up, but you got the lefty Sebastian Mexico on deck, and that will conclude the day for Sam Gerwal. With Braden Holcomb on first base, 1 out in the inning here in the bottom of the 7th, a 5-1 Braves lead as we meet the new pitcher on the other side of this break.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes have like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails of doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Brandon Oliveira is the new arm for Mitch Carricker. They go from the lefty Gerwal to the righty Oliveira, making his first appearance of the postseason here on the Cape. But a 5.4 earned run average over 6 2/3 frames, 9 hits, 5 runs. 9 strikeouts in those frames. He's been electric on the mound. Last time out against Wareham, he worked a scoreless inning. He did allow 2 hits, but he also punched out 2. He's punched out at least 2 in each of his 4 outings on the Cape, and he comes in a high leverage situation just trying to get a hold.
And this is a good time for the change from Mitch Carricker. 3 of the next 4 batters due up, starting with Cal Sefcik, the right fielder, all righties, and you left Gerwal in to exploit that left-on-left matchup with a banged-up hitter in Riker Waite.
Sefcik 0 for 2 with a walk tonight, but he picked up an RBI on that walk in the 3rd inning. It was a bases-loaded free pass. And besides that, it's been a largely clean day in terms of walks on the hill for Hyannis. But the righty sets into the batter's box, going to go right on right with Oliveira. Braden Holcomb on first base, a 5-1 Braves lead here in the 7th, and he checked his swing on a slider in the dirt, and he went around. Home plate umpire Mike Chukerman rings him up for strike one.
Really good block from Brody Briggs as well. Holcomb had himself a healthy lead over at first. Not a terrible threat to steal, but Briggs doing a very good job of ranging behind the dish.
This is game 17 for Cal Sefcik, and he takes in the dirt, try to double up on that breaking ball. A ball and a strike with one out in the inning. Two double plays. He's grounded into two double plays in 16 games. Now playing in number 17. On a 1-1 pitch, Sefcik flies one foul off to the right and out of play, and Oliveira jumps ahead. And these are the situations where Gerwal succeeded, putting himself in advantage counts and getting it to 2 strikes.
And he did a very good job with the wipeout breaking balls as well in these 2 strike counts. Wonder what Oliveira goes to try and wipe these guys out.
Hawks looking for a little 6-4-3 here if possible. 1-2, grounded back up the middle off of Oliveira. And he's going to have to field his position and throw to first base underhanded. They're not able to get the double play, but it's a 1-3 put out that gives 2 outs in the inning, but now a runner in scoring position in Braden Holcomb.
Some display of toughness from Brendan Oliveira, too. That was a shot off the lower part of his glove. I believe it ricocheted off a part of his lower leg, and he wastes no time. Whether it hurt or not, it probably did if I take a gander. Goes right over and fields his position to now create a favorable 2-out situation. There is a runner in scoring position for a guy that scored in this game in Sebastian, Mexico, but the advantage certainly with Oliveira here.
Mexico, a knockback in the 6th inning that started a rally that saw 2 Braves come home. And he grounds one to second base on the first pitch. Ryan McKay to the backhand, over to first in time for the final out of the inning. Bourne strands one on the base paths. A 5-1 Braves lead headed to the top of the 8th.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the rental source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
When I started teaching on the Cape 30 years ago, you could buy a house on a teacher's salary. But today, teachers, public safety officers, healthcare and hospitality workers, the people who make the Cape work, are struggling to find homes they can afford. And I really worry about the kids who will follow us. I think it's time we learn to do better.
If housing on Cape Cod matters to you, join us at capehousingmatters.org.
Hyannis has 6 outs to work with left in this game. Their season on the line, down 5-1, and a deciding Game 3 of the Western Division Series here at Doran Park. And the Braves, Bradley Cooney going out for another inning of work. And so far, he's done really well following up the starter Bowie. 2 clean innings on just 2 hits, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. But it's a fresh start with top of the order, Owen Prince coming up to the plate.
And these are the 2 batters that are due up to start this 8th inning that Bradley Cooney had the most trouble with. Owen Prince walked against him, his second leadoff walk in this game, and then Jace Dobby ripped a single to get the speedster over to second. And what does Bradley Cooney do in response after really not finding his spot with his fastball nor his tunneled breaking balls? He induces 3 consecutive pop-outs and then retires the next 4 batters in a row going into the 7th and ends that frame with a pair of strikeouts. And now this top of the order up for a 4th time. It's no wonder that this is where the production has come from, given that Prince and Dobby featured in this stretch of 3.
Owen Prince has walked in each of his last 2 plate appearances. He was the first guy to see Packy Bradley Cooney, and he takes low for ball 1. Came into this game 6 walks to 6 strikeouts. That's now 8 walks to 6 punchies. Bradley Cooney out of the windup. On a 1-0, Prince takes up and away. 2 balls and no strikes to the left-handed hitter.
See some serious speed from Owen Prince in this game. He advanced 2 bases on the E1. It looks like he was rounding the bank of a track, much less second base into third.
You just need a base runner if you're Mitch Carricker. Might see an automatic take right here ahead 2-0. The pitch is away for ball 3. Went to the backdoor breaking ball, but that one well outside. And now for sure, if you're a betting man, he is not going to swing.
Bat barely left the shoulder for Owen Prince there. I doubt he even puts he moves it much further here.
Bradley Cooney behind 3-0. The righty kicks and fires. It's taken all the way, and it's at the top of the zone. 3 balls and a strike. Third baseman Braden Holcomb playing even with the cut. Of course, a speedster at the plate. Third in the NCAA in steals, and the entire Cape League knows the scouting report. 3-1 offering. Fastball a little bit inside for ball 4, and now a third consecutive plate appearance with a walk for Owen Prince.
Third consecutive leadoff walk as well for the rising senior headed back to VMI. And in that particular instance, in this game, of course, if the score had not been 5-1, Mitch Carricker might have let Prince take a swing at the advantageous hitter's count, but knowing how imperative base runners are in bunches across these next 6 outs, Prince leaving the bat on the shoulder.
A man on and nobody out. A 5-1 Bravos lead here in the top of the 8th. First pitch to Dobby. Straightens him up. He said it hit him. Home plate umpire Mike Chukerman says it did not, as Dobby's vie for a base does not work out.
Yeah, turned his back to the righty Cooney. The righty Dobby thought it grazed him either on the bicep or on the protective gear by his elbow, and Michael Chukerman didn't agree with him.
Bradley Cooney now 39 pitches deep, 23 strikes. He's a returner to the Braves. Last summer, 7 innings for Bourne, a 5.14 earned run average, but the 10 strikeouts in those 7 frames. Interestingly, 2 so far, but he came in with 14 and 9 this summer. Going from Alabama to UMiami. With Prince on first base. Out of the stretch. Righty comes home. Dobby takes. Gets the call on the bottom of the zone. And Jace Dobby and the entire Hyannis dugout did not agree with Mike Chukerman right there.
It's a really close spot on the low outside corner to the righty. Great location from Packy Bradley Cooney. A good pitch to try and make him chase. And for someone like Dobby, who's walked his fair share both this season and in this playoff series. Yeah, he singled in the 6th following Prince's leadoff single there, but again, bat on the shoulder if you get into an advantageous count.
Prince on first, 1-1 count coming up to Jace Dobby. Here's the pitch. He swings, fouls it straight back to the screen. And there you go. There's the advantage count at a ball and 2 strikes.
Bradley Cooney gave him a pitch to hit. Bit of a breaker right over the heart of the zone where Dobby could square it up and put it into left field, where the left fielder Gavin Kelly cheating way towards the alley. A lot of space on that third base line.
On a 1-2 pitch, Dobby takes down in the dirt. Prince was running on the pitch. It gets away. He was not looking, so he slides into second base. And a disappointment for Mitch Carricker. They always tell you, you have to peek inside to see what's going on when you're running down the second. He probably could have been standing on third base.
And Prince has got ridiculous speed, but like you said, he just doesn't realize that that ball gets by Mark Cotrani at the plate, and he was halfway to the base when Cooney let the ball go. With the speed we saw on his 2-base error in the 4th, he could have easily been 90 feet right now.
First stolen base of the game for Hyannis. Comes with nobody out in the 8th, a 5-1 Braves lead. The 2-2 offering. Flared foul off to the right and out of play. We'll do it again. The battle continues. As Scott Landers down in the bullpen for the Braves. Will Whalen, their high-leveraged lefty, getting loose and presumably going to try to close out this 9th inning, or rather this game, and get it to the 9th. Dobby is single back in the 6th, a sac fly in the 4th. But all 3 at-bats arguably quality because he lined out sharply to left field back in the 1st. Prince on second. Cooney looks back. He comes home and a chopper third base way out ahead.
And this is exactly what Jace Dobby has done so well. He's a phenomenal plate protector, and a lot of the time that leads to walks for good batters, especially if you're in a 3-2 count and you can take a pitch that you probably would chase when in a more advantageous count. But for Jace Dobby in these playoffs, it's led to hits.
9 hits for the Braves, 4 for Hyannis. Bradley Cooney looks back. Now he comes home. The 2-2 is slap foul to the backstop. Just keeps going. Both the pitcher and the hitter, Dobby. Nobody giving in here, and this is where the tensions really rise in postseason baseball. Everybody's still here at the ballpark. No early departures, and it's a big at-bat right here.
It's the 7th pitch upcoming to Jace Dobby, and this is really big because Landers wants Bradley Cooney to get out of this inning.
We'll do it again once more at 2-2. Bradley Cooney kicks and fires. Dobby grounds it to third. Braden Holcomb to his left. He drops the baseball. Now he throws to first. It's high and off the glove of Cade Lewis. Owen Prince walks to third base as the defensive miscue keeps Hyannis alive here in the 8th.
Now batting from Michigan State, second baseman number 5.
That's all Mitch Carricker needs. Get runners on base, put the ball in play, and see what happens. Braden Holcomb quite simply boots this ball. Coming back as he tried to transfer it to his glove. Didn't field it all too cleanly and rushed the throw over to first.
Still waiting for the official ruling on how Dobby reached. Corners are in. First baseman Lewis holding on Dobby at first. 5-1 Braves here in the 8th. McKay at the plate, and he takes at the knees. 0-1 from the righty Bradley Cooney.
For Mitch Carricker, it's now or never. Sure, you've got 6 outs to work with here in a 5-1 deficit, but this is the part of the order that's going to get it done, with McKay at the plate and Dayton LaChance on deck, waiting to try and torch Bourne yet again.
It is ruled an E5 on Braden Holcomb, his 2nd error of the game. On an 0-1, McKay takes a fastball at the outside corner. He did not love the call from Mike Chukerman, and no balls in, 2 strikes coming up to the lefty at the plate. Biggest spot of the season now for Hyannis, looking to get any momentum they can. Still in slam range, tying run on deck in Dayton LaChance.
No better player to try and get that slam.
On an 0-2, McKay fights it foul off to the left on top of the Bourne dugout. Third base way here at Doran Park. Hyannis has left at least 1 base runner on in each of the last 4 frames, most notably 2 back in the 6th inning. 5 in total in this game. And entering the game, 19 in the series as McKay fouls one painfully off his front foot. We'll do it again at an 0-2 count. And now the 2nd time this game, the Harbor Hawks' first time was Charlie Bates taking a painful ball off of their front leg.
And McKay, just like Bates, trying to walk it out. If you're a Hyannis Harbor Hawk that's been here since day one, like both Bates and Ryan McKay are, you wouldn't even think of coming out of this game in this spot with Hyannis on the ropes.
Does have that front leg guard Evo shield, but both trainers out to check on Ryan. I mean, it's been a long summer. We talk about the Cape League being kind of a marathon for some guys. For McKay, this is game 36. And that comes after he played a full season at Michigan State, 54 games for the Spartans in the Big Ten.
Guy that's been a gamer at every level he's been at as a college baseball player. 47 games as a freshman for the Spartans, then 44 for the Royal Oak Leprechauns of the Northwoods League in 2024.
Owen Prince on third, Jace Dobby on first. A 5-1 Braves lead here in the top of the 8th. On an 0-2, McKay rips it up the middle. That's into center field. Here comes Owen Prince. Dobby's on his way to third. The throw goes in that direction. It is late as Ryan McKay moves up to second. The ball gets away. Here comes Dobby. He'll score. McKay rounds second. He'll throw the brakes on. And the Hyannis Harbor Hawks pull within 2. 5-3 now here in the top of the 8th inning. And Ryan McKay, the iron leg comes through.
Who else but number 5? Bradley Cooney leaves him one over the plate, and he torches it into the alley. A beautiful piece of hitting, and an erroneous throw from Sebastian Mexico in center field trickles all the way to the backstop as Braden Holcomb chases it down, and Dobby with some heads-up base running to take the 2nd run. Game on here at Doran Park.
And Dayton LaChance is the hitter. LaChance has torched the Braves all summer long. 9 for 5 on the season series, 7 for 7 at McKeon Park, of course, here at Doran Park. With McKay on second base. LaChance, the tying run, swings through a breaking ball. No balls and a strike.
And LaChance started this series sorry to cut you off there, but with a very good run, going 9 of 15 going into yesterday. He singles in the first and then strikes out 3 times. He's 0 for 3 now, so no better time to turn it around.
0-1 is swung through, 0-2. The ruling on that McKay ball is a single, and he gets to second base on a missed catch here by Braden Holcomb. So now his 3rd error of the game and 2nd of the inning. Tensions are rising at Bourne Park, a deciding Game 3 of the Western Division Series. LaChance cleans one foul off to the left and out of play. We'll do it again at 0-2. The pitch count for Bradley Cooney rising now, 54 deep, 37 strikes through 2 innings of work. Still nobody out. And the rally almost just getting started for Mitch Carricker. Bradley Cooney comes set, takes a look back at Ryan McKay. Now he fires the 0-2. LaChance swings and gulfs it a mile high in the infield. It's the shortstop, Riker Waite, calling and catching an important out number 1 here in the top of the 8th.
And Scott Landers leaving the leash long for Packy Bradley Cooney. You think after that Ryan McKay single and error advance to second that with Will Whalen warming up, that could be it for the righty, but no. Landers really wants him to work his way out of this trouble, still with a 2-run cushion to try and get Whalen to pitch that fateful 9th.
And up comes Devin Mitchell, who's having a meeting with Mitch Carricker, Hyannis' manager and 3rd base coach. It has concluded. Mitchell, the tying run at the plate. McKay, if he scores, would pull the Harbor Hawks within 1. A 5-3 Braves lead here in the top of the 8th inning. 2 runs home for the Harbor Hawks. Devin Mitchell 0 for 3 with 3 pop-outs that have not left the infield, coming up for the 4th time tonight. Bradley Cooney fires the first pitch, and Mitchell swings through the breaking ball. No balls and a strike.
Seeing more of what's made Packy Bradley Cooney so effective in this outing. It's honestly what stretched him multiple innings because he incurred some early damage when he took over for Reese Bowie in the 6th, and now he seems to have his command right back.
Comes set from the stretch. On an 0-1, Mitchell shows the bunt and goes around on the attempt. No balls and 2 strikes, and he puts himself behind in the count early.
Another decision from Mitch Carricker on the bunt attempt from Devin Mitchell that might not come except in a spot like this. Season on the line. It's a fire sale for Devin Mitchell.
Win or go home here at Bourne Park. A decisive Game 3. The 0-2 to Mitchell is swung through strike 3. Wipeout breaking ball, and he sets him down on 3 pitches. Third strikeout of the relief appearance for Packy Bradley Cooney, and that might end the day. Here comes Scott Landers. And as we mentioned, Will Whalen, the prolific lefty, warming in the pen, and that will do it. At least for the moment, he's taking the baseball, still talking to Packy Bradley Cooney. The entire infield is there, and as Hell's Bells come on, we'll take a step aside for Will Whalen coming in. 5-3, Braves lead.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
When I started teaching on the Cape 30 years ago, you could buy a house on a teacher's salary. But today, teachers, public safety officers, healthcare and hospitality workers, the people who make the Cape work, are struggling to find homes they can afford. And I really worry about the kids who will follow us. I think it's time we learn to do better.
If housing on Cape Cod matters to you, join us at capehousingmatters.org.
Scott Landers has his guy here in the 8th inning. It's Will Whalen, the southpaw, 20 2/3 innings this summer, a 1.31 earned run average. The whip is under 1, and he has been Landers' go-to guy all summer long. We last saw Whalen in Game 1 of the series here at Doran Park, where the lefty pitched 2/3 of an inning, but that was it. On the season series, he's been very good, besides one outing where he delivered a wild pitch that allowed Gabe Camacho to score in the 9th inning, a walk-off win for the Harbor Hawks on July 31st.
And I imagine that he, among all the teams in the Cape Cod Baseball League, Hyannis is the only one he's allowed runs against this year. All 3 earned runs on his register have come against the Harbor Hawks. So if there's any team on the Cape that he wants to be in this situation where Scott Landers is going to ask him for a 4-out save, it's against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks with a trip to the West Division Final on the line.
Well, it was 3 consecutive Harbor Hawks to reach base to open up the frame. Prince walked, Dobby reached on an E5, Ryan McKay singled both home. But however, 2 outs now after LaChance pops out to short. Mitchell strikes out. They take out Packy Bradley Cooney. And in comes Will Whalen. Charlie Bates going to have to go left on left. Hyannis has made it more interesting. A 5-3 Braves lead over the Harbor Hawks here in Game 3 of the Division Series. It's win or go home. Both sides with their seasons on the line. An entire summer of memories coming up in these last few outs. McKay on second with 2 outs in the inning. Left on left to Charlie Bates. Last time out he grounded out, but on the day 0 for 2 with a walk, but he was picked off at first base the only time he's reached base. First pitch, Bates swings, flares it foul off to the left by the Bourne dugout, third base way. 0-1 from the southpaw Whalen on the hill.
And Whalen doesn't have the speed of a Carson Yasa, Zach Edwards among former Hyannis high leverage guys, 88-92, but he tunnels so well with a cutter in that 3-pitch breaking ball mix.
Whalen takes a look back at McKay. Now the lefty comes home, and Bates takes up and away. There's that fastball, but to no avail. Count even at 1 with 2 outs in the inning.
It's one of the better takes we've seen all game. On the upper corner, Whalen thought he painted that spot, and Bates nods his head, no sir.
Tying run is at the plate, Charlie Bates. 1-1 is grounded up the middle. Riker Waite ranges to the second base side, throws on the run, and in time to retire the side. Hyannis brings together 2 runs on the Ryan McKay 2-run single, but they take a 5-3 deficit into the bottom of the 8th. Bourne Braves on top of the Harbor Hawks, 5-3 here in the last of the 8th. And the Braves and Scotlanders looking for insurance. They take this 5-3 lead into a charged game that's had quite a bit of everything. Brandon Oliveira going back on, great pitching, great hitting, a little bit of sloppiness, some errors in there, some walks, some wild pitches, some balks. But this is the makings of what postseason baseball means on the Cape. And it's been a treat to be able to be here diamond side at Doran Park.
It sure is, because we're going to see the most unhinged baseball from the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and that's a good thing because they want to play free, but now they're going to play with urgency, knowing that the season hangs in the balance with every single pitch, with every single decision, with every single moment of this game. And to the point about the errors, the Braves have made 5 errors in a game for the second time against the Harbor Hawks. The previous game, the Braves won here at Doran Park on July 16th. So anything is possible in these final 3 outs.
Mark Cotrani to lead it off against Brandon Oliveira. First pitch, breaking ball at the top of the zone, 0-1 from the ready Oliveira. Cotrani a single back in the 6th. He scored a run. Braves deposited 2 more runs back in that inning, and that's now the difference in this game, 5-3. 0-1. Bender is in there for a strike, 0-2.
Think about how huge that single was for Mark Cotrani amid all of the bonanza of the hit by pitch balk situation. Flares a broken bat single into center field, and like I said, that's now the difference.
Oliveira working from the windup. Righty kicks and fires, and Cotrani gets a piece, taps it foul. He was a hero last night for the Braves. That RBI double in the 9th inning. Nobody out, nobody on. 5-3 Braves here in the bottom of the 8th at Bourne Park. The 0-2 offering. Quatrani swings, slaps it on the right side. Ryan McKay to his left and slings to first in time. Camacho is there for out number 1.
Now batting from Oregon, second baseman number 11, Ryan Cooney.
Dream start for Brandon Oliveira. That breaking ball, specifically the hanging curve, was working really well. Threw it inside a couple of times, which, if you look at it outwardly, it's a risky decision to a righty. You turn on that ball, it could be in the seats. But make no mistake that with the way Oliveira was throwing it, that it could be his go-to pitch here in this 9th.
Well, it's the right-hander Ryan Cooney who's coming off a 10-pitch plate appearance against Sam Gerwal, where he struck out and he golfs the first pitch to shortstop. Charlie Bates to the backhand from the deep hole. What a play. Couple nice defensive spins for the Harbor Hawks on the infield. And it's the day one boys getting it done here in the 8th.
Who else for Mitch Carricker? This is a phenomenal play from Charlie Bates. The first pitch swing, attack mode right into left field. A backhanded grab where it's away from his body. That's a doubly tough to get it in your mitt and land it. And he throws a beautiful ball over to Camacho at first to beat Ryan Cooney out by a step and a half.
John LeGrande trying to make it a non-1-2-3 frame. How big would it be for Hyannis if that ensues? As he fouls the first pitch off to the left by the snack bar, shaking his head in approval of the pitch because he's got it down as he takes a stroll off to the right-hand batter box.
He was not happy with that strikeout call, looking for freeze in the 6th before Gavin Kelly's triple. And for LeGrande, he's got a bit of Soto in his game. He's a very confident hitter, guy that'll nod at every pitch. And yeah, that's the objective similarity between him and the big swinging lefty for the Mets. But definitely a very scrappy hitter, a guy that'll chase at anything and put the bat on it a lot of the time.
Scott Landers was just talking to LeGrande, just giving him anything he can. We've seen a lot of these managers take bigger roles come the postseason. Of course, we haven't seen Blaze Martinez, the Hyannis pitching coach, well, it seems like a couple weeks. Same thing for Bourne. It's always going to be Landers. So LeGrande digs back into an 0-1 count. 5-3 Braves the lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Deciding Game 3 of the Western Division Series. And LeGrande golfs one down the first base line. That is a fair ball. And he trips around first, but he's still off to second. It's going to be a close play as he's there standing with the 2-out double.
Man, oh man, is John LeGrande exciting to watch. He takes a tumble very nearly into first base and somehow regains his footing going across the bag. And now some jawing.
Braves dugout screaming at the Hyannis dugout. Sean Riley, the hitting coach, yelling back. Tensions are rising once more at Bourne Park. Of course, after the Game 1 Harbor Hawks win, as the umpires might get together, wouldn't be surprised if we see some warnings. I think it was Camacho who said something, and what I would expect is that maybe when LeGrande, after he stumbled rounded first, might have said something that Camacho didn't like, because he was very upset, Camacho at first. Umpires getting together. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some warnings issued out.
Absolutely. Let's go back to LeGrande on that amazing near fall to double stretch, and it's a great piece of hitting. If he puts it anywhere but the corner, Devin Mitchell's got a chance to throw him out, given the fact that he nearly trips on himself headed into first base, but he regains his footing, and he's a speedster. He's got 8 more steals coming into the game than the next closest Brave in Riker Waite. So, guy, we know he's got the speed, and he needed it there to get into second.
Umpires still meeting. Mike Hinojosa, Rick Force, and Mike Chukerman. LeGrande on second. Still nothing going on here at Bourne Park. All of a sudden, kind of taking the momentum out of this game. Still a meeting of the minds between all 3 umps.
And this stoppage probably plays to the favor of Brandon Oliveira, who's now got some time to, he's got to get back loose again, and that arm's going to get a little cold. I'm sure he'll throw a few warm-ups before facing Gavin Kelly. But make no mistake that he could use the break. Regroup his thoughts, regather everything, stick to the game plan, and get back to it.
Umpires have finally concluded the meeting. Out comes Scott Landers. In case you're just joining us, a 5-3 Braves lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. This deciding Game 3. John LeGrande just popped a 2-out double. And some jawing going on between Hyannis and Bourne, two teams that have played a very, to put it lightly, chaotic season series into the postseason as well. After Game 1, Hyannis took that one 3-1. The bench is cleared. There's some suspensions of a couple players on the Braves, one player in the Harbor Hawks. It's Scott Landers still out talking with the umpires. It's Mike Hinojosa and Mike Chukerman. First base umpire Rick Force talking to Brandon Oliveira. But a very elongated conversation, as this has been a pretty long delay of game.
And it's no surprise to see the emotion coming to light between these two teams. The Braves have eliminated the Harbor Hawks in each of the last 3 postseasons as Bourne searches a 5th consecutive trip to the division finals.
Landers still jawing. Mitch Carricker standing out by the first base side. Not interested in going out, but just kind of wondering what's going on here. It's been a long stoppage of play, and Oliveira's probably going to have to re-warm up.
If it gets to be something serious, Mitch Carricker will probably have to hear something from the umpires as well, and I think that's what Rick Force Mike Hinojosa is doing right now.
We'll have to wait and see. Hinojosa over with Mitch. (5-3) Bourne in the bottom of the 8th inning. As it looks like the umpires, as Landers comes back out. Oliveira throws some warm-up pitches. Landers goes back to the third base dugout. Mitch Carricker now heads up and takes the baseball from Brandon Oliveira. An elongated pause. Oliveira exits. We'll meet the new pitcher on the other side of this break.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
This week we've been working a lot with doing play-by-plays, just doing behind-the-scenes stuff with sports broadcasting, which I never really realized how much went into it, but it's been really cool.
They've grown a lot. I've never really done like a program like this before, so like seeing all the behind-the-scenes have like really grown.
I've learned how to really just gain confidence in my play-by-play speaking, and I've learned more terms here when it comes to directing and producing, and I've just had a great time with John Rook.
Doing the play-by-play stuff and all that, being with a guy like John Rook, understanding what like the major kind of entails of doing this camp, just really a preview for what you do here at Dean or any other college doing broadcasting, so I'm definitely more prepared to make this a job of mine.
Mitch Carricker's got his guy that's been that guy all summer long. Ryan Speciak going out to relieve Brandon Oliveira, last out against these Bravos back on the 5th. He won 1 clean inning, got the save on 2 strikeouts. And a guy who's been there for Mitch Carricker and the Harbor Hawks all season long. Couldn't think of a better spot to put him in.
The easiest call to the bullpen that Mitch Carricker has made all season long. 2 outs in the decisive inning of this game. Of course, he's still got the 9th to play. But make no mistake that Speciak, like Will Whalen is for Bourne, he'll come back out to pitch the top of the 9th, I'm sure. Make no mistake that for Speciak, he's thrown as many as 50 pitches in an outing on the penultimate day of the season against Orleans. So he's got the length to get as many outs as Mitch Carricker can ask for. But you do have to wonder what factor fatigue will play, having come into Game 1 and getting that save with a couple of strikeouts. The Braves have not done a very good job against them this year. So this is a decision to try and get those hot bats back up to the plate.
Well, this inning started with a ground out to second base and then a ground out to shortstop. John LeGrande doubled. And then it was that on-field delay. Both sides got chippy. Scotlanders came out and talked for what seemed like a while. Mitch Carricker then wanted to hear what was going on, and then Mitch Carricker eventually made the pitching change. The tension's rising high here at Doran Park. Gavin Kelly comes up to the plate. With LaGrande on second, Bourne in dire need of insurance to send it to the 9th inning with a chance to go to their 5th consecutive division finals in the Western Division. Special against top of the order, Gavin Kelly, righty, kicks and fires. First pitch, slider, hit in the air, right side. Gabe Camacho into foul territory for out number 3. Hyannis' season is on the line. They're down to their final 3 outs. A 5-3 Bourne lead headed to the 9th.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
We made it to the top of the 9th inning here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network at Doran Park, a 5-3 Braves lead. Will Whalen back out on the mound, trying to send his Braves to their 5th consecutive Western Division Finals. And Jake Schaffner going to lead it off against Will Whalen. It's been a season crazy for the Harbor Hawks. He had 8 wins in June, just 7 wins through the final 6 weeks of the summer. So 8 wins in 2 weeks, 7-6. They make it to the playoffs. The last team in on the last day. They lost the final 3 games of the season. Falmouth was the team that sent them to the postseason, losing against Catuit. They come in here to Doran Park back on the 5th. They take game 1. Drop a tough decision last night at McKeon Park, and a summer of memories and fun on the line here tonight, here in the 9th.
And it couldn't be more fitting that Jake Schaffner is going to lead it off. A guy from Mitch Carricker that's done anything and everything, including miss 8 games after being hit by a pitch in late June, come back and be the mainstay that he's been. And against Will Whalen, a guy that's out for revenge against Hyannis. The only 3 runs that the lefties allowed have been against the Harbor Hawks. Jake needs to ignite something here to bring 2 across to at least send this to the 9th.
An atmosphere of postseason baseball here at Doran Park. Everybody on their feet. Will Whalen against Jake Schaffner to lead it off. Hawks down 2. Tying runs on deck. First pitch, fastball on the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Schaffner's been there since day 1 for Mitch Carricker. He did not start against the Wareham Gatemen back on June 14th. However, he came in later in that 7th inning, and since that day on, he has not looked back. He's been a mainstay for Mitch Carricker. On an 0-1, Schaffner breaks his back, grounds it to second base. Ryan Cooney charges, fires, out number 1. This broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited. Parker Brocious to pinch hit for Gabe Camacho, who went just the 1 at bat. He struck out his only time in place of Garrett Larson. And that's rather, he's pinch hitting for Brody Briggs. Whalen out of the windup, out of the stretch. Hawks down to their final 2 outs. A 5-3 Braves lead here in the 9th. First pitch, Brocious fouls it straight back to the screen. Whalen jumps ahead for the 2nd consecutive hitter. Brocious, a returning Harbor Hawk after last summer, but trying to make a splash this year for Mitch Carricker. One out, nobody on. On an 0-1. Brocious takes down in the dirt. The breaking ball skipped in.
And Brocious, a guy for Hyannis that played 8 games here last summer. He's all too familiar with that dugout, a popular guy in it. Came right when Mitch Carricker was starting his tenure on Cape Cod, and he's put this weight on his shoulders.
5-3 Braves here in the 9th, a deciding winner-go-home Game 3 of the Western Division Series. 1-1 is fouled back behind the screen. And a 2-strike count, a ball and 2 strikes to Brocious. Making his 11th game tonight for the Harbor Hawks. Just 4 for his first 25 on the Cape. Whalen ahead 1-2. Lefty kicks and fires. Brocious swings and misses, strike 3. The Braves 1 out away from the division finals.
Will Whalen's fastball sits 88-92. Doesn't need the gas that a guy like Carson Yassa has for Hyannis. Mile per hour shy of 100. And for Will Whalen, this out's going to mean a whole lot more given that he struggled against the Harbor Hawks this year.
Gabe Camacho going to go left on left. Harbor Hawks down to their final out of the summer. First pitch, Camacho swings and misses, strike 1. Blew the fastball by Camacho. Struck out his only plate appearance tonight. He replaced Garrett Larson. Outfield and no doubles defense. On an 0-1, Camacho grounds it to the left side. Third baseman Holcomb to his left, throws to first for the 5th consecutive summer. The Bourne Braves dance to the Western Division Finals. A 5-3 final score here at Doran Park, and Hyannis' summer comes to an end.
Join us tomorrow night at Doran Park as we take on the Katuitt Cavaliers. First pitch being at 6 p.m. The Bourne Braves like this.
What a game, what a series, and what a summer for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. From first in the West Division in late June, they slumped through the month of July, somehow snuck their way in to the playoffs. And what a fight they put up in all 3 of these games. In this Game 3, they went down 5-1 against a Bourne Braves team that's been nothing but money in the postseason each of the last 5 years. Won 2 of the last 3 Cape Cod Baseball League championship, advanced to the title 4 consecutive times. And against that playoff juggernaut, Hyannis refused to give up. And it's just so indicative of the culture that Mitch Carricker has built here, the philosophy that is ingrained into the fabric of the organization from the top all the way down to the bottom. And what a summer in Hyannis and at McKeon Park. And it's a shame that it ends here at Doran Park, but some kind of fight put up by a very vigilant team.
Bourne now bounces Hyannis from the postseason in the most recent 4 consecutive summers. 5 runs on 10 hits and 5 errors. Hyannis 3 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors. Well, so much has gone by this summer. We want to thank you all for all you've done for us, you listeners. You guys are the reasons why we do what we do. But thank you so much for tuning into Harbor Hawks baseball this year. For our entire production crew, our producers, Daniel Bonalino, Charlie Adams, James Kluggish, and Sam Montag. For our sideline reporters, Ava Fernandez and Ethan Wax. For my boys, my wonderful partners, my partners in crime, Giovanni Collada and Graham Nash. I'm Max Schwartzberg saying so much, saying so long, and thank you for listening.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.